our lovely crew and cast here. Hello, everyone. Welcome into tonight's lovely session.
Hello, hello.
Without further ado, we want to give a quick shout out to the Forge, who are using for hosting services. We appreciate their system. If you host, be sure to check out the Forge. Go around the table and see how it's fine evening and give them. It's nuts.
Hello, hello.
That was one bloody game last night.
We had a lot of fun. There wasn't too much gore involved in it as of yet. I'm sure that at some point will change, especially with what Shaunatron, the Beatstick Nosferatu Shaunatron's playing in that. That's going to be interesting. But I'm having a good time with it. It's a newer system for me. I haven't run Vampire. I think the last time I ran Vampire was 3rd edition. Yeah, 3rd edition. I think you're right about that. And it's been a long time. It's nice to be back into it, though. It's such an easy narrative system to kind of step back into. Beyond that, I've got that game going on Fridays. Probably going to be an every other Friday kind of thing once we get past the holidays, knowing how that's going to work. But we're not for sure on the exact schedule on that yet. On sad news, my personal best Zomboid run came to an end yesterday afternoon because I fat fingered a keyboard. Single zombie.
Yep.
It was one zombie that got me.
Pull up the clip. Pull up the clip.
I don't want to watch that again.
No. It was that bad. Pull up the clip.
I don't want to watch that.
It was
again.
Awful. It was terrible. That was like the
bad.
Worst way to die.
It literally was me sitting down on the ground, clicking to go so I could rest to get rid of my fatigue, reaching up to hit the keyboard. And you could see my hand come up on the VOD to hit the keyboard, and I miskeyed, and instead of hitting the slowest fast forwarder time, I hit the fastest one. And simply by the time that the zombie got up on me, I couldn't stand up fast enough to push it off me.
Yep.
And munch, and single bite, man.
So. I was emotionally invested in chat. Damn it.
Did you see how little it actually seemed to bother me right there? Because I am so... Zomboid is a game that if you get truly invested into a character like that... Am I sad that he's gone? Yes. Am I upset that I'm not having to now play CDDA? No, because I started over a brand new character today and kind of went, wow, look at all the loot in all these houses. There's more food in this one house than in 10 of what I was looting before. Because it's not 6 months later where everything's been picked over. Not to mention I got to put in a bunch of quality of life mods for the character, I no longer can only pick up 4 total logs and walk off with them and be completely over encumbered. I set it up for reduced wood weight, shit like that. Just so that it would be easier on me.
Change of pace,
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to mess with this character for a while. I'm probably not going to be playing Zomboid quite as 100%. It's probably going to be a 2-day, maybe a 3-day a week kind of thing, tops. Simply because
you're gonna play Rogue Trader.
I'm going to play a bunch of Rogue Trader. I'm probably going to start doing a game where I'm playing Age of Wonders 4. I've got a couple of other survival games that I picked up that I would like to try out. I'd really like to give Humanity Z a better try than I've actually given so far.
Tomorrow night, are you available?
Tomorrow night, possibly. I have to, as all things that go along with my weekend schedule, I have to check with the wife before I can answer that.
I'm not just saying. Like I've been playing with Big Tex on that. If you want to join us.
Oh yeah, I need to give that game a better try, just simply because it's only been, I think I may have played it like 4 hours, maybe 5 hours tops at this point, which is not enough to really even understand how the game fully works yet.
I just bought it yesterday, so we can all play. We can get a 4-man team going.
Awesome. But other than that, that's where things have been going on for me. I've got a bunch of writing that I'm working on, little bits here, little bits there, trying to piece together scenarios for a setting that I don't like the lore for very much, but paid gigs a paid gigs. So I'm going to try to do the best that I can with it to try to make it. I want it to be something that I enjoy, and that's a little hard to do when the lore is not something that I'm 100% behind.
Ask him about space cats.
Oh God! Ask Gedwin about it if you want to watch him freak out. But anyway, that's things for me.
On that, we did mention doing co-op Rogue Trader.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Certainly interested in that.
Same.
That is going.
You still thinking Wednesdays for that, maybe, or have you got a
Probably.
date or a day
That's
in mind?
the
Okay.
Warhammer day for now, so I probably put it in there.
Okay.
Tuesday, I technically am doing Starfield right now, but I'm actually doing multitasking because I'm on another thing as well while I'm at it. So I'm not just doing one thing, I'm getting multiple things done, so I won't do playing with people co-op stuff on Tuesday because that's not fair. So that's why I do single player. So Wednesday, Thursday are the days I can do it. Thursday I've been doing along with Matt, which we could potentially switch Thursday and Wednesday.
I'm busy on Thursdays usually.
Okay, so that doesn't work.
I just installed Wulong, man.
I said switch days. I didn't say not do it. I'm going to keep Wulong going because it's something Matt enjoys and we've been doing that. I'm not ending it. I said switch days.
Okay.
But that didn't work anyways for Malkov, so. Other than that, I mean, pretty much all I got are those 2 days. Friday and Monday I'm out. Saturday is today. And then there's Sunday, which I've been doing
Sunday's
Humanity,
fine,
which we could do Sunday evening.
Yeah, Sundays
Possibly,
are good for me.
but
I'm fine on Sundays, depending on what time we start.
Every other week for me at that point, if I was going to be doing it on Sundays, because every other weekend that's the night that I'm running my 5th edition D&D campaign. So
that's kind of why I was leaning more towards Wednesday, Thursday for you nuts. But we can talk on that off stream.
yeah, no problem.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know you guys have been playing it.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I want to.
I'm really interested in the way that they've got set up for the I mean, you truly have to make certain weapons effective, you really do have to build a character specialized out towards that weapon.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Plasma is terrible if you don't build for it. But if you build for it, it's amazing.
Yeah. That's the thing. I kind of think that's good in a lot of ways, right?
It is.
Because then it
Especially
gives you
if
reason
it's
to focus on it.
true.
Plasma in what?
Plasma guns.
In what?
In
Rogue
4K.
Trader.
Rogue Trader.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet. I just bought it yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're
There's
going
a
to do a
difference between
co-op
using
on
a
that.
plasma gun and a heavy plasma.
Yeah. I mean,
So plasma cannon.
there is enough different variation within how you can build a character towards a weapon type to make it still effective to have one person say, I'm specializing in this, and then they're guaranteed that they're getting those weapons as you guys come across them. You know?
Yes.
Without having the specialization, trying to hand somebody a plasma rifle or a plasma weapon that they don't know how to use, you might as well hand them a spitball cannon.
Well,
If you don't even have the proficiency, you can't even equip it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's something you can't use. Oh, I've got an extra weight to carry around.
You're a mule.
So,
There's
but yeah,
no
I'm
way
definitely
to-
looking forward to that. We'll figure out which day to do it. Because I don't want to take streams away from other people that we've been doing stuff either. So I'm trying to cooperate and collate with everything. But yeah, definitely want to get that on the docket. Anything else for you nuts?
Nope, that's pretty much
All
it
right.
for me.
Well, then we'll jump over to the not in the
Hello.
baker extraordinaire.
I was gonna say.
That did look really tasty, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, you don't know until you try things, right? So I knew that it would probably be okay. I'm a decent cook. I'm no decent home cook, and so I thought, I probably got this, but it was really good. So
good.
It tastes as good as it looked.
Oh yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Yeah, so I did some cooking. Did my Christmas event. Now, for those that did message and say, "Hang on, did Christmas change like in Australia?" No, it didn't. It didn't change at all. Instead, I'm doing things on different days, and I'll do whatever the heck I want. So, yeah. Take it.
I mean, you know what? Like, who knows? Like, the actual quote-unquote reason for the season didn't even happen then, but we won't go there.
Yeah, dates really. Yeah, I'll just.
Dates don't matter.
Yeah, I organize things whenever I can or whenever people are available. But yeah, that's probably about as festive as my Christmas will get. Is that amount of cooking? It was 2 days of cooking to get that down. So yeah, it was good. But I had fun. As far as streaming, you and I did our Wulong stream. Both of us streamed. It was a hilarious end. If no one saw it on my stream, it was funny. We had done a whole lot of killing and looting, and we went back to salvage our loot. And so I had a whole bunch, and DMNix had a whole bunch, and I went at this stage. I didn't know about the whole different marking system, so I was marking each thing individually. It took me 10 minutes to mark all my items to salvage them. I clicked the button. I crashed the game completely. Not only did I crash the game, my entire OBS had an absolute fit. It went black, all of my scenes changed, everything just broke completely. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to DMNix and I'm like, hey dude, I think I'm just gonna have to stop my stream, so I'm just gonna raid into you. So I had someone to raid into, thankfully, but it was very amusing. So yeah. So that. By the way, I should mention, because we've been talking about it amongst ourselves, DMNix, and it's a good moment because we're coming to the end of the year and we've got stuff coming for next year. I'm going to be sending out a campaign idea and invitation to people that might be interested in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, playing in Kingmaker, which is you're going to a place that is relatively untamed, and you're trying to tame it. You're trying to make settlements. You're trying to grow your lands. Your characters are explorers who are also looking at some administrative things and developing their relations with other people and developing their kingdom. These sorts of themes being very adult in the very visceral, very violent, lots of betrayal and politics and things going on. Definitely not a kid game, but I'm happy to tone it down a little bit. But I want to put it out there that we're going to be doing a tabletop role-playing game set on Foundry, which is what we use here. We're hosted with the Forge, but the Forge is just the hosting program for Foundry. Foundry is the tabletop that we use to represent the rules. It's the thing that you see all of these roles come from. It's all the automation, all of the maps. There'll also be sounds for both music and ambiance sounds. There's it's going to be very, very high level sort of stuff. This all I'm announcing for next year. It's been popped up already in DMNix's chat, and I'm going to be releasing like a what is this kind of packet that talks about like what I'm looking for and what is available. And we're going to be looking for a day, maybe once a week, maybe fortnightly, to play that in the new year. I'm going to be running that, not DMNix. And DMNix is going to be a player, so it gives him a chance to come and be a player. And
I'm excited.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you saw it, Matt, but based on Azrael's statement, the module has a lot of Owlcat's soundtracks and stuff in it because they had a deal between Paizo and Owlcat for Owlcat to make the game. So Paizo's came first, then Owlcat's, then Paizo's re-release for Pathfinder 2 and their Kingmaker 2 build in Foundry, and they used a lot of their stuff in Foundry and got permission to include a lot of it. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's really
it's
cool.
but just like it's not Owlcat's version, it's not a computer game, it's us
Correct.
role playing. And
Yes.
so the entire experience will be completely different. They're going to be focusing on whatever your characters are going to be doing, and it will be a very much character focused. I'm going to be like really digging into your characters and looking into those, and it's going to hopefully be a time where we can really, have fun role playing as well as doing approximately what is written there. So, look, I don't want to talk too much else about it. Watch this space, watch DMNix's chat, and we'll have some more information coming out. And I'll be looking for dates, weeks, players, and stuff in the new year for that. And that might actually be a good opportunity, DM, if we don't really have any other days, to do that fortnightly Sunday thing, because that would suit me, and it sounds like it would suit a few others. But like open to discussions, open to changing, open to like figuring it out. But
see what works exactly. So cool.
Sounds fun.
Definitely looking forward to it.
I'll be honest, anything that DM, the way you run our game is fantastic, but the way that playing in someone else's game to compare, and everything I've heard about the way Matt runs his games is amazing too. So this is how I feel running playing in a game where I literally have 4 people that have DM'd, they have run their own games. And when Gedwin was here playing, just every single person that's played in this game, I don't think Mitch has done it, but most people have been DMs of their own. It's just the perspectives are great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing the best that I can, and you guys say I'm doing good, and I appreciate that. But I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
We've all been there.
One of the things that I very seriously consider once I actually have a chance to pick up a set of books for the rules for this system, I have all the old 2020 system books for what I've had from in the past. And I had an idea of, let's run a Cyberpunk Red campaign, and then midway through, well, we're going to do this flashback thing, and then I'm going to bust out all the old books and run it underneath the 2020 system, for the flashback, because that's the way that the system works for that. I mean, I would think that would be entertaining to be able to do midway through a campaign. Oh, well, we're going to do a flashback to your parents, and
Oh yeah, totally.
I think that'd be fun.
Yep. Azrael, anything for you? I know you've kind of been quiet on your...
Oh my god, I have these times where I have no idea what the fuck to play. I booted up Starfield for the first time in a week last night for 15 minutes to just see where the fuck I was, And
Next time I stream that.
Oh no, I watched it play the other night, and
Hasn't been seen.
Another, like
I replaced the ship.
What?
I replaced the ship.
Okay. I speaking of ships, like I actually found a video, like a build guide, quote unquote, for a redo of the Kepler R. So once I get my piloting to level whatever it has to be to go and actually get it, I'm gonna see what I have to do to. Yeah, I know. I gotta max it out or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what I have to do to like actually implement the things in that build video, because it's got like every hab, and like it's like the ultimate ship, quote unquote.
I would disagree, but we can chat on that later.
But no, like so last night and the night before, like I went on to like my Xbox Game Pass. I went on to Steam. Like yesterday, I bought 4 games because so my company has this reward system where like every quarter we have like money, like virtual money, to give out to like our colleagues who help us throughout the quarter or whatever.
Nice.
And I cashed in some of those and bought like 4 games. I gave CD Projekt Red full price for Phantom Liberty because it deserved it. I bought Marvel Midnight Suns because I'm a Marvel freak, and I know that I know it didn't do as well, but it's XCOM and it's Marvel XCOM basically. How could you not like Marvel XCOM? What else did I get? Humanit Zine. Humanit Zine and Rogue Trader. That is the first Warhammer game that I've purchased. Like, I did not buy Darktide. Like, I have Xbox Game Pass for Darktide. And I have that reinstalled. I have like 25 games installed on Xbox Game Pass. I have so much to play and like not nearly enough time to play it. It's like a really cute, quote unquote, game. I don't know if you've heard of it. Unpacking. It is extremely stress relieving. Like the soundtrack, like the music is very relaxing, and basically what you do is you're going through the game and you're it's different points in your life. Like you go from being like a college student to fresh out of college to having a kid to being like older, and you're going from apartment to starter house to other areas, and you're basically like graduating, and each time you are unpacking the boxes that you pack away in the previous, and you pick where you want them to go in the rooms, and based on like the locations you get a score. It's really interesting and very it's not really something that's been done before. So if you have time, it's Xbox Game Pass. It's really good.
Enjoyed that.
I did. I've played it once already, and I'm going to go through and play it again. That's all I got.
Cool. Well then, without further ado, lots of things happening. Lots of things. Some more fun to be seen from all of these wonderful. Malkov. How are you doing, Doctor?
Good. That was a lot of fun last night. That was a lot of
Those
fun.
who know, those who don't.
Mixed Nuts and I, at one point, we were roommates, and we used to play Vampire basically from the time we wake up until the time we crash for days on end.
Yep, pretty much every day we had off. It was either that or we were playing cards of some kind. Or
Jihad, the Eternal Struggle.
Or way too much theme park.
Theme park. That was a good one too. But yeah, I haven't played it since 2005, 2006. So it was really good to get into Vampire again.
Nice.
Cyberpunk's been great too. I mean, it's a totally new edition compared to the 2020 stuff, but it's very much still Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Love it. So, yeah. And then Rogue Trader. I've been playing a lot of Rogue Trader because I'm on vacation. So,
Rogue
I
Trader.
actually got probably halfway through Act 2, and I was just playing as like an iconoclast, and I decided to start over and go full heretic and build the Demon Blade.
Going full heretic.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Leaving a wake of destruction.
I am not
It's
surprised.
we can feed those people. No, let's send them infected food so that the cult spreads. You know, we'll see what happens.
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
It's been fun though. It's a really brilliantly written game. There's just so much lore that I didn't even know all the details of, because I've never been big into the novels. I've just not spent a lot of time reading any of the 40K novels. I've read a few and they're phenomenal, but there's just so much to read. I've just never gotten around to 40K. And the way they present the lore is so thorough and so well paced that it doesn't matter how much you know. This is by far the best entrance into 40K to really get a good feel of how the Imperium Man operates.
I do agree.
It's brilliant. It's I'm having more fun with it than I did with Baldur's Gate 3.
Heresy. No.
So.
I still haven't gotten out of Act 1 in Baldur's Gate 3 because I spent too much time playing Zomboid.
But yeah, that's all I'm doing, just gaming right now. I'll have to go back to work in January, but for now it's just gaming all the time.
And I will say, I do agree with you on that. They do a very good job at introducing the lore in such a way that you don't have to be a lore buff to figure out what's going on. They're like, hey, it's a bit. Here's a bit. And I mean, they did the same thing with Pathfinder when they did.
Yeah. Both Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous.
Kingmaker, yeah, and Wrath. They have a good pacing of feeding you the lore in such a way where it's not shoving it at you, but it's there and it's paced.
Yes, giant lore dump all at once is something that most players just go, oh, click, 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 click. I'm not reading all of this. And I haven't felt like that at all while playing it. Everything that they put out there, spaced out there, has just been, it's just far enough apart to make sure that it's still interesting while giving you enough information to go, wait, they really just say that? Because the Imperium of Man is not necessarily a nice place in any way at all.
It's a horror show. I mean, everywhere you look, there's these skulls floating around. Those are people. They're like, oh, you fucked up. We're gonna lobotomize you and turn you into a servant.
Yeah.
And it's just
it's bad.
Basically, walking corpses everywhere. The place is all everything decorated with skulls. Door openings. There's like the thing that controls the door is somebody's body implanted in the freaking wall.
Oh, you failed the Emperor and you got injured? Well, we'll just go ahead and rip you out of the rest of your body and plug you into a wall so that you can serve the rest of your existence as a, human construct, opening doors for people.
So twisted.
You failed me. I'm going to turn you into a servitor.
Yeah.
You're now going to be a lobotomized flesh machine.
Yeah, it's the ultimate slavery.
Let me rip your skull out and turn you into a servo skull.
Yeah, it's brilliantly written. There's a little bit of voice acting. I wish there was more because what they do have in there is really well done. It's a very pretty game. And the combat's super fun and engaging. I like the way you can build different characters in it. It really scratches that power gaming itch. along with a good story, which is all you can really hope for in a CRPG. You're not going to get the role play in CRPG, really. Not actually.
Yeah. Cool. I'm looking forward to doing that with you guys.
Sorry. Don't mean to delay anymore. I apologize. I do have a question. Has anyone found themselves wanting to play more turn-based role-playing games? Since, like, because I've got, like, what is it? Oh God, War Tales, Rogue Trader, Baldur's Gate 3. There's all these turn-based role-playing games that are excellent.
I've always preferred turn-based role-playing games. I personally think that you lose out on a big portion of what certain character types can do if you make it a real-time thing, because most people don't. Some people have reactions that fast. I might have had reactions that fast 25 years ago. Now, I don't want to have to worry or stress about, oh, did I just lose that fight because I didn't click the damn spell fast enough? I want to be able to still have the experience of being able to do it optimally without having to feel like I got to have the reflexes of a fighter pilot to do so.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like
stand up from the ground fast enough to not get bitten by a zombie.
Yeah, exactly. That irritated me.
Sorry.
Colors of Eternity. I play that with I use the turn-based version. Divinity as well. I don't like the ultimate.
All right, I apologize for the tangent.
I like the turn-based.
Good.
Yeah, it's.
So let's play some Cyberpunk.
Yep. Let's do that. It is. Who remembers where we were?
Having a amazingly in-depth heart-to-heart conversation about all kinds of shit in the back of Click's armored car on the way to pick up specialized equipment from, I don't know if I've got the name. No, I don't have. What's the name? Bancroft. Yes,
Mr.
Bancroft.
Fix, because we haven't talked to him yet because we got mind fucked. You and me, Harlan, got mind fucked on the way.
No, just lore dumps. Just
you
lore
told me
dumps.
that
Everyone.
You just told me that I lost 10 to 15 years of my life. You told me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And you showed Harlan that his father invented an AI.
Grandfather.
Grandfather. His grandfather, who was still alive, possibly, sitting in the frickin' compound, the mine. The fuck, man?
And I've realized that I'm stuck in a truck full of mentally damaged people. Everybody's having a breakdown.
You just jab fucking ice picks into our fucking brains. Anyway.
If and when you do, you don't have to fight with me about my love.
Yeah. It was great.
I thought it was a great session last week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, doesn't necessarily mean that Harlan didn't feel mildly traumatized by it. Mildly for me. I would say Blackstone got the worst of that.
Just go ahead and like chop my artery open and let me bleed out.
Ooh, free Malorian arms. Free Malorian arms.
Much. Here, take it. What reason do I have to live?
Because your parents might be alive.
Might be. Tease.
Probably stuck in the same kind of cryopod that I was in. It's where they end up sticking people that they don't want to have to deal with.
This is what you do to middle managers? Come on, they don't do anything. Anyway,
Well,
they have access to all kinds of information, both directions, up the chain and down the chain.
Corporate secrets. Anyway. That's what I remember from last session. I remember getting mind fucked.
something before that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys got info and you were headed to, like Bancroft to get something to help you with your work.
Believe we were looking for silencers. Or were they picking?
You'd ordered some of those, yes.
Yeah, we did.
Never mind.
I also know that I text messaged with with Blue while not being on a network because she just somehow, she can just talk to whoever she wants to that happens to have an agent.
It's a local area network.
And Zed can just see the messages that get sent.
Correct. You don't know Zed can see anything. You don't know that at all.
Blackstone doesn't know that Zid can see everything.
Correct.
Out of game, I know that Zid can see whatever the hell he wants.
Blackstone doesn't know.
But yes. I did have some questions, but we can handle those questions later. It's not conducive to the backstory for now. I just don't want to forget about it. What else? We talked to the Med Elder. He said something about going to see Mr. Fix, Dean Bangle, whoever that bankrupt dude is. They're going to transport us because Roger's van is getting repaired because of my stupid ass.
Boarding vehicle. That's what Mr. Fix was working on.
Yes.
He's boarding this damn train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of assault trap.
I've got a thing here saying Neander needs rescue.
Is that that's Shade's person, right?
Yeah, Shade's friends, Neander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Shade talked to the Elder by himself after everybody else left.
We've got so many people that we need to rescue.
Yeah, we got 5 now?
Well,
It's gonna be a circus.
We've got a few to rescue. We've also got a cyber psycho to worry about that I think is working with or for these damn smokers.
That guy, I remember that guy.
I think he's their leader.
I think he's their leader's muscle.
Okay.
I don't think most cyber psychos don't lead much of anything just simply because they're not stable enough to be in charge.
That's fair. At the same time, this person, Shaka, doesn't seem like he would be anybody's follower. He probably didn't like doing that when he was in the combat zone. He probably doesn't like doing it now. But that's just my opinion.
Likes it or is willing to do it for the profit necessary to get himself even more chrome is I think his motivation more than anything else. He wants to be the equivalent of Atom Smasher, okay? Where the only meat part of him left is the face and the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has been replaced. The equivalent of a full conversion board, basically.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm just going to kind of lean forward to Click and go, hey, how much further we got to go?
We should be coming up here pretty quick. Sounded like there was some talk going on back there, but I couldn't make it out. You guys were kind of hushed. Is everything all right?
Yeah, you don't want to know.
I'm just going to say flat out, no, but it doesn't concern with what we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks over. Click looks over Harlan's shoulder and sees me with my face buried in my hands.
Are you guys diseased as well? I mean, we just bought those
crying.
things.
Nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
Being cautious. I'm sure you get why.
Nope.
Already sent Adjo off because of it, so
we don't need anybody foaming at the mouth and trying to know.
Yeah. I'd rather not have any cyber psychos in the vehicle, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I hear this and I call out to Click. My body is fine. My brain is not. I will be fine. Just drive.
We got some bad news.
Got it. That sounds pretty bad then. Yeah, we'll be at Mr. Fix's here pretty quick.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of character, did we heal?
Don't see.
You haven't even passed a day since
Oh,
last
okay.
session.
Just wondering. Anyway,
Last session, I think you guys healed. Most of you were
we
healed
did.
up.
we did. It's fine. It hasn't passed today yet. I'm sorry. Just wanted
No,
to
it's
check.
okay. Yeah. So
Reset
you guys
lock.
literally have only been in the vehicle a few hours getting to
Yeah.
where you're going, but you spent a lot of that time talking, which makes sense. You know, getting a, lovely lorddom.
My whole thoughts is that the only thing that Harlan's thinking more than anything else is, motherfucker, I have spent all this time trying to get back to Night City, and I'm going to have to drive all the fucking way back out to that compound at some point to see if I can't find my way down into the fucking under complex that they were talking about too, which means it's another trip out of the city I got to take.
I mean, you can just leave it
He
there.
says this out loud. Does he say it out loud?
No, you
Okay.
might hear me grumbling and mumbling at that point a
Right.
little bit. Another
Of course.
goddamn trip. Beyond that,
So in the interest of trying to help, like, I know that my current situation, like, mentally isn't super great, but so that I can try and empathize, because I'm trying to be an empath, because I work with Zid to try and like build that connection. I'm gonna talk to Harlan, and I'm gonna say, I know we both just got some really rough news, and I know that like your brain is not in the greatest place right now. If you are interested, I'm more than happy to accompany you back out to look and see, check on your grandfather.
we gotta get the Night City.
Because I know where he is, and for what it's worth, he didn't look sick. He didn't look like he was having too much of a problem. He looked relatively healthy. So if you want to reconcile or have questions for him, if he is still alive when we get out there, you're more than welcome to take me along. And
I would also like to visit that place.
Well, that's
if it's still standing,
yeah. If we can even get into it, is the issue. Ziggurat's usually pretty thorough in when they say they're gonna blow the shit out of something, they blow the shit out of something. We'll check it later. We got to get back to Night City first anyway. We have too many loose ends that need tied up there before we can get chasing off after that in the first place. And I want to go home for at least a little bit. The person I need to talk to before I worry about going to find Grandpa is Grandma, because I think she's been lying to me for a long time.
Oh, it would be nice to have a home, wouldn't it?
I'm going to look over and say, it is kind of nice. When you get the chance, you should try it sometime. I know that's not been an option for you for most of your life.
We will see if we survive that long.
I look over at Zid and I say, Zid, to the brother, anywhere that I am is your home. I'm more than happy to be there for you whenever you need it.
I'm thinking, I wonder if I left enough back with my fucking agent to actually, or excuse me, with my sources to be able to even realize if my place is even still my place anymore. Because I'm down to 38 euro bucks, and
It's a good question.
I got 580s.
It's been a couple
It's
months.
more-
Looking at that train.
yeah.
Speaking of which, we're in a car and we're going to the thing, and it's like, Anyone got more of an idea what they would like to do when it comes to assaulting this vehicle? Or should we wait till we have more information, Mark?
If we can get a vehicle to board it, we need to try to do it as quietly and as quickly as possible and just work from one end to the other. I mean, and remember, we don't necessarily have to be the ones ending the people inside of it. If we just can throw them off the fucking train, that's just as good. They're not as scattered along the wasteland.
Yeah, that's a lot of weapons and ammo you're throwing off the train too.
I get it, but if we can take them by surprise and just toss somebody off and then never have to worry about the threat those weapons and ammo point at us. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want their shit as well. I mean, like I said, I got 38 Eddies at this point.
Internally, I ask whether Blue has a contact number for a certain stocky, well-built woman that we might have met about 10 sessions ago.
Affirmative.
I'll send out a text. I know it's not gonna send until we have signal, but I'm gonna draft it anyway and just press send so that as soon as we're in signal, wherever we are, that it sends out. And I'll say, heads up, if you're still looking for a job and you're in this vicinity, we might be looking to take out a combat train. Should be fun. Yours sincerely, Zid X.
All right. Wow. Zid's opening that can. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, get whatever opportunity we can to take this thing out, man. If she's around, she may not be, but hey.
This is her idea of a great first date. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, Zid knows is getting in far too far, but that's okay. We'll deal with that if and when it happens.
Kind of what I was saying.
Allies. Allies are good.
Hey, she pointed us at people that got us armed, equipped, got everything set up like that. She got us out of Blackstone's least favorite place.
Hey, I mean, he had a good time.
So that's sitting in the agent, like, pending to send as soon as we have signal.
All right.
So yeah, other than that, I'm just going to pass the time till we end up at Mr. Fix's, kind of just doing.
Yeah, I don't see any reason.
That was uncalled for. I'm just kidding.
It was entirely.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. It's fine.
It's always called for.
Uh-huh. Especially when I ask for water and I get drugged twice.
Hey, hold on.
Keep in mind.
But you kept drinking it?
Anybody who's got Blackstone's in real life phone number just needs to start sending him bunny pics.
Why would you do that? Why would you even suggest that?
I don't have your number.
You mean this one, right?
No.
You mean this, like IRL, like this, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you're saying. Now, I do want to point something out, okay? You were told there's two sides to the city. Biotechnica with their exotics, and the other side that was seeming a bit almost technophobic. Both were agri locations.
Yeah, okay.
We got exactly what we expected.
We did.
Kind of was
a little
worded
more-
that there's a
I
bit
got a
of
little bit
strife
more than
between
I
the two
expected.
groups.
Just a little. I had fun,
For some reason.
quote unquote.
Hey, you got cookies. Okay, who else have you?
Yeah, I
Raise
got
your hand if you
cookies
got
and
chocolate
milk.
chip cookies and milk.
I think I can go
Welcome, by the
without.
way. You're welcome, by the way.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, Zed went to that place having never seen anything like that before in his life, made a great contact that he's reaching out to even as we speak. I think that plus stop was well worth it, regardless of the other comedic effects that went on or occurred during it. I'm just glad, which by the way, that is something else that I'm going to pick up, is I'm going to make sure that I transmit over to Blackstone's agent, hey, is this story appropriate? I redacted all the names, so it shouldn't come back on you. And then the perils of accepting drinks from strange bunnies.
the perils of receiving drinks from moist women in pool. By Harlan. If thou find thyself in a location with the lady of the lake, who doth have at the tail, offering thee a drink, do not accept it, for they may find themselves entertained that evening by others of the furry sort.
Hey, Harlan's got very low humanity. I mean, he's not joking about the fact that he wrote a story about that. He's just giving it to you to proofread to see if there's anything else you would want to add. Other than two flying fingers.
Yeah, I look at it. I mean, he's already sent it, right? So
send it to you. I haven't sent it out to anybody.
That's fine. And I text back, fuck you.
So no edits, huh? Got it.
I should have just deleted it, but I know you've got like 5,000 backups of everything, so it wouldn't matter.
If I really truly need to be able to do that, all I have to do is pull out the Braindance chip and then re-experience it and rewrite it out at the same time. Which,
so it wouldn't matter.
I don't need to do that. I mean,
You have a point.
In the hood.
If only Blackstone had a brain dance, you could experience it from his perspective.
I don't know that you want to do that.
Oh, I'm not sure I would want to do that. I can tell you for a fact that there are plenty of people that would pay to have that experience, having not have to live it firsthand.
Yeah. Did we say Baldur's Gate 3?
I'm trying to avoid anything spoilery for that, so avoid, please.
So, beyond that, until we have do we have any idea what the layout of this train even is? Has anybody ever actually seen it? We don't have any info on that.
Nope.
It's an old diesel train that has been enabled, retrofitted, and had armor slapped to it, is what you've been told.
Zid would be like, well, Choom, it has the engine cab, which probably has fuel that goes in, and it probably has brake and accelerates. And then there are carriages behind that, man, where there are probably passengers, armored cars, and probably pop-up weapons that shoot out rockets or miniguns or you name it. And then there will be, between 20 and 50 men and women with semi-automatic and automatic weapons inside. You name it. As far as we know, there will also be car trains where there are vehicles that will be stored within them so that they can use it as a mobile base.
You think these pop-up turrets are probably networked in somehow?
It is possible.
Well, I mean, if we have a way to be able to get in there silently, I think personally, if they are networked, if you can I don't know, make us the friends in their IFF instead of them might be the best possible solution to a lot of those asshats.
Did ever nut run? Turn the turret around.
I don't know what you're talking
Well, we
about.
gotta make sure that
It
we gotta
took
make
him.
sure that turrets don't shoot the hostages.
Yeah, it took him a bit, but yes, he would say, if it so happens, that there is, we will find it and I will use it. But until then, we do not know anything like that. It would certainly be hard to power something like that. It would require quite a bit. And these are probably, unless they've got some sort of, I don't know, insane engineer, wouldn't be the best for that.
No, just a thought.
Harlan, you were asking stuff. Roll a luck check.
So just a D10, right?
Just for something that popped into my head. We'll see if it is the case or not. When in doubt, luck checks help you know it's true.
That looks good.
That's under my luck by 1.
I do not see the roll.
It's a 4.
Rolled 1D10, roll a 4.
I believe you. I'm just puzzled as to why it's
Yeah,
not
I
showing.
can
The
see
last
it.
thing I see is Blackstones.
Do you have to scroll down? Maybe it didn't auto scroll.
Nope, it's all the way on the bottom. I tried again. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to stop the music for a minute. Has to when I try it again. I believe you.
You need to
just
see the
can't
rolls, though.
It would be helpful going forward to be able to actually see the rolls.
I mean, there's nothing quite like going back through to edit the VOD and go, those bastards lied to me about their rolls.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it'd be on the VOD either because it wasn't showing on the screen that I used to show it either. So, thank you for the alert, Dragon. I appreciate it. All right, so yes, that'll come into play here in a moment. So, you guys are chatting about that, and you hear the brakes come on the vehicle. Comes to a stop. Not an emergency stop, just a normal stop.
I take it we're here?
You hear a knock on the little divider. There's a little section put front and back, just so that there's, if bullets go flying, there's a chance it won't go through.
Well, I mean, we don't want the driver hit if we can help it. It comes in one side.
That's part of the point, yeah.
Pull the divider aside. Yeah.
Go ahead. Are you guys ready?
Yes. We'll hop out.
Okay. We're going to stay out here and stay guard because just make sure there's no smokers. He's expecting you.
Hop out. Are we at some sort of complex building? What's here?
It is a old factory. That looks like abandoned. But there's power.
As we're walking to where it is, I'm just going to look over at Shade and say, hey, by the way, on that whole thought of not shooting the hostages, we probably all need a good idea of what Neander looks like so that we don't fuck that up.
Okay, I'll show him a picture on my agent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did.
Yeah.
Do you have your virtual goggles on? Or I don't think you got the virtuality goggles put into your eyes.
No. I don't believe so.
Okay. So yeah, you'd still need your virtuality goggles for seeing net. Do you have those on or not? They're basically just AR goggles.
Yeah, I mean, Zid likes the look of this place anyway. Yeah, he'll put them on.
Okay. It does matter whether you have them on or not, so we kind of need to go going into places if you have them on or don't have them on. That's how you basically interact with.
Yeah, I'll make a note so that you're not asked prompting, because I feel like that's. Yeah. But yes, I think Zid would be interested in putting them on here, and he would be definitely interested in putting them on when it comes to the train.
Yeah, which we're not at the train right now. We're in old warehouse where Fix-It is.
No, but this is like exactly the type of building that Zid really likes. He this is what he's used to, like old dilapidated friggin' warehouses and shit. That's where he's spent his whole life.
When I see him put the goggles on, I'm gonna move up beside him. What does it look like through those? What do you see different?
He says, I suppose a little bit it depends what model you have. Some of them represent in different ways. It's like 100 different artists render the same description in 100 different ways. So you never quite know till you put them on, but what is consistent, and then he would talk a little bit about the things that are common, which I don't really understand or know, but he would put it into a couple of sentences.
Perfect. So what does she look like?
Zid goes, she?
It's a blue angel.
I don't know. I have not tried to see a representation of her because it has not been important, man. Like actually getting to know where we are and what we're doing.
I was just curious what an AI looks like.
I am fairly certain that she would choose to represent herself however she would like. In NetSpace, we have avatars, which are dependent on the user. We can customize them a little. My NetSpaces tend to be a little more colorful than others, and if you see my video, you'll see a representation there of Zid in NetSpace. So for him, it's not like the Matrix where it's one color and just code, but
monochrome,
more,
boring.
Yeah, it's more neon, colorful, and
thanks for the colors, man.
He would say it's especially vibrant for certain things, but yeah, like he's really into, and he'll tell you this, I think, freely, like into code and like locks and things that are hidden behind things, and he would say that he's programmed himself if there's like a password or if there's a something like that it like highlights in bright flashing lights and stuff to let him know that hey, there's something to look at, because he's really into like breaking in and finding secrets, decoding things.
Huh. Okay, thanks.
Zid, you notice there's a number of control nodes.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking in, you see him pop up a few times. Shade would probably be the. Roll me a. Essentially, it'd be a threat detection sort of thing. So I think it'd be perception.
Yep.
Oof.
I mean,
I'm
that's
preoccupied.
pretty good considering. Jeez.
He's preoccupied. Just it's true. It fits. Blackstone could do a electronic security tech.
How many pop-up turrets did we just walk past?
I mean, I don't know that Harlan would be paying attention to that sort of thing.
Oh, hell no. Marlon's not good at that.
You notice that two of the doors you walk past are labeled with a common label, mechanized units. And you have a feeling that some of the other objects around here might be hiding turrets and such, so the place is definitely not lacking in security.
This is a
And you
secure
notice
facility.
cameras following you, watching you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now the cameras I would probably notice just simply because that's part of my own expertise. That's where I get
Oh, yeah.
footage.
That was about to be what I said. Like, you all would notice the cameras, at least some of them.
I tell the group, watch where you put your hands. Everybody's watching us, so it's a very secure site. It's
Of
Let's
course
go.
I'm watching you, crazy one.
No playing grab ass.
You hear
Got
a
it.
loudspeaker come on and reply to you, Blackstone.
hello. I assume you're Mr. Fix.
Yeah? Who else would be here? My place.
Well,
Okay. Well, we just want to talk.
I want
I
to
hear.
see this amazing
Hold up both my
boarding
hands.
vehicle.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
hold
want.
my hands and I say we want to talk
Come on
about
in.
the train.
You guys follow in and you see there's like the warehouse that they have kind of like the floor that's up, kind of like the manager's office sort of thing. You see the light on in that room up ahead. You guys go up in there. You see this old, like, wrinkly guy who's kind of hunched over a bit. Definitely looks like a grease monkey. The fact that he's covered in oil and whatnot. Hi, guys. I'm Fix-It. I hear you wanted to talk.
Yeah, somebody said you had a vehicle for maybe boarding this combat train?
It's not finished yet, but it's close. You want to see it?
Yes.
All right. This is
That
where you
sounds
guys are going to
insane.
get some narrative liberties on describing it, okay? This guy has poured his life's work last 10 years acquiring parts to make this vehicle. It is supposed to be an assault vehicle that it handles off-road, so larger wheels. Think kind of like a Humvee, able to, drive off-road without a problem. Potentially larger than that, though. It is designed to actually be a mobile assault craft to handle things like a combat train. So go ahead and I'll let you guys, you can take turns, or if you have a description you can think of for it, go for it. It's supposed to be not immaculate, like brand new looking, because he's used parts, but he's put a lot of work on it, and it is something to behold. You all would be kind of taken back when you bring it over there, and it shows you looking down into this area. It has chains hanging pieces of it and everything, and it's just this large construct.
And that's gonna magnetically attach somehow? How loud is this thing? I mean, I know you said it's not done, but
It's pretty loud. I tried the engine out. And as for you're talking about that, he points to this, think of a rope ladder, but instead it's cable and metal lattice between it. He points to it and it has this huge magnetic piece on it. I made a device so I can launch that out and it attaches and walk across on that. So, pretty fun.
You consider putting a cargo net on it?
All right, we got two voices. What?
Sorry. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Did you consider putting like a cargo net or something on that so nobody slips and falls through?
Well, that's what the top rope's for. It holds. It's like a rope ladder. You know, you got the top rope to hold on to, and you got the other one to keep your feet steady. You not know how to walk? And I figured it'd be pretty usable.
Oh, I thought you were describing an actual like rope ladder.
Oh no. It's like a rope ladder where you have the rope that goes across, right? But then that has planks going across it, and then there's the second kind of like line rail where you have the swinging rope bridges sort of thing.
Okay, I misunderstood your description.
Not a problem. My fault. Yeah.
Okay.
So, how many
Rope
pieces
bridge.
of a Bradley fighting vehicle did you use for this?
I don't know. I lost count.
What's it armed with other than just this, or is it just heavily armored?
Heavily armored. I haven't got the guns yet. I haven't been able to find any that had munitions.
I'm gonna make.
He shows you a discarded set of a bunch of like artillery and tank guns sitting off to the side.
I'm gonna make a land vehicle tech roll so that I can like just do like a see like I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see like what happens, but so this is mainly like sorry.
I'm asking the guy, have you named her yet?
I'm trying to get a good name for her. You know, it has to be suitable.
Frankie.
Frankie. Why Frankie? That's not very imposing or intimidating.
Have you?
Behold, here comes Frankie.
It's in a litter. Never mind.
Frank the
I can
Tank.
understand.
It's an alliteration to an old book. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, I didn't get to read much when I was younger. We didn't have access to the book. Sorry.
So I look over the whole vehicle and I compliment him on his craftsmanship.
Oh, thank you. I put a lot of work into it. A lot of years, a lot of sweat, a lot of greed.
Is it basically just salvaged pieces, or did you buy any of it?
A lot of it is salvage pieces. He's bought and borrowed, stole, packed together, manufactured, all of it. So kind of everything, the spectrum.
How fast does this thing go? Because this train's not going to be sitting still.
Yep. That's why I took, how old are you? Like, when were you born?
I'll give him a date, even though it doesn't seem accurate.
Interesting. How close to the 2000s? What? Right now we're in 2055.
This character is 44 years old already.
Okay. Well, it'd be a little before your time, but the country used to have some tanks, right? Before they had their bigger ones, but their old tanks, they were pretty hefty metal chunks of metal. I have an engine of each of those for each field, so that it should be able to handle it.
God.
Hold on. Have you converted these engines over to Choo-Choo, or is this thing running the old fuel?
Both?
Wait, it's using a mix of both?
Yeah, I made a Frankenstein machine. I thought it sounded like fun.
That's why I said Frankie.
Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna grin because he does know what I'm talking about at that point.
He just doesn't know that he knows. He doesn't even, like, if you ask him what Frankenstein is, he doesn't know. He just knows it means an amalgam of things. Doesn't know where it came from. He just knows.
Remind me to send this guy I'm gonna make sure I get his agent so that I can send him a copy of the book at some point.
What's an agent? Oh, cell phone. I don't have one of those. That's how they get you.
Not if you turn it off.
Well, just don't have one then. Use the low waves. He points over. You see an old, like, CB station there.
Christ. I just look at him like, Christ almighty.
Well, I mean, he did resurrect this machine from the dead.
Maybe we should name the machine Lazarus.
I don't know. Sound very imposing. I'm trying to get something that, has a bit of oomph to it.
How soon do you think it's actually going to be finished? Or
Well, I finally got the parts together. Most of it's just welding now. Bolting,
Hey.
welding,
Hi,
crafting.
I can help with that.
He's actually pretty good.
He's not so good at the driving, but he's great at fixing it after he breaks it.
I'm pointing my tech hand.
I don't know if I trust you.
And I like make it into a blowtorch.
He seems to trust you less as you do that.
Okay.
Well,
Would it help if I made a sign
You're
like that?
noticing
Piece
he
of coal?
has no cyber.
Oh no, I fully expect him to be like 100% meat.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to look right at him and go, okay, so the question becomes here. The Nomad sent us here because they thought that this vehicle might be available for us to go after the combat train with.
When are you planning your assault?
Well, based on the schedule of when the train's going to be where we think it's going to be, and I'll give him the time frame.
You're actually waiting. You know it's going to be on its way, so probably within a week or two.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say days.
10 days?
No, a week or two. You don't know exactly.
A week to 10 days, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're waiting on word for it to hit a specific spot, and then we'll know where it's going to go.
Yeah, so the Nomad said they're working on getting you your silencers that you asked for. And then they're working on getting the exact location of the train pinpointed because it had gotten picked up and then lost in kind of a inhospitable driving location. So they're kind of watching it. Now that they have the map that you gave them, they actually know the path. So they've now put up a few overwatch positions to try to radio and keep an eye on it. Before that, they didn't know where all the train tracks were, so they were scouting out trying to find it. But in, a huge, massive landscape, where is it? So they're working on that now. That's the case.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, how much coffee do you have on you?
I'd have to ask Click what he's got in the car. As far as coffee goes, I couldn't tell you. You're going to need to work on it straight through, aren't you?
Yeah, it depends on how quick we want it done.
So,
Yeah.
Blackstone can help you make it faster.
yeah. You say coffee. How do you feel about a stem? How do you feel about that? Like maybe Stitcher has a stimulant that you can just.
He's a med tech, so
That'd be pretty helpful. He's a doctor. He knows what he's doing.
I don't trust them.
So
You do? I don't trust you either.
Hey, I get it. Okay, you know what coffee is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what's in coffee, right? There's this
Coffee.
thing called caffeine. You know what caffeine is, right?
No.
Caffeine is a stimulant. Caffeine keeps you awake.
I'm just going to lean over and go,
Okay.
so I think we just need to task this guy to get to work on it.
Yeah.
He's going to drive it.
Not me.
That
Even
goes
though I have the
without-
best driving skill in the team.
That goes without saying.
I don't
Look
trust
at
my
him.
rivals.
You're working on it. Are you going to be the one driving your baby?
I don't have as good a reflex as I used to in my younger days, so I probably need to see if Nomads have someone that can drive it.
I am shocked and amazed.
Well, I mean, hey, as long as he's honest about it. That's why I was asking him if he was going to be driving it.
I mean,
And
I'm going to take it out and test drive it, but
assault driving's different.
yeah.
I was hoping a Nomad would probably be handling that.
Well, if you guys need anything, holler. He grabs from the chains and like Tarzan swings out there, starts climbing around and swinging the pieces together and controlling the robots with a little tablet he has, moving the pieces together while you guys are up here in the office.
Sure.
Not sure what just happened, but Asriel started real good, so somebody's probably being super loud at his house.
Probably. But yeah, you guys get a feeling this guy's probably one of technophobes. Especially when you see he has a tinfoil hat and everything on the desk.
Keep in mind that at a store that's near where I live, it's one of the fairways that's here, for Thanksgiving, they basically had a display of aluminum foil. And one of the things that they put on it was 1,000 free hats in every box.
Yep.
Not okay. I thought it was hilarious. The display was gone the next time I was, like the very next day when I was in there afterwards. Somebody in management did not find that funny.
Yep. Not surprised.
So, do you think this is actually going to work? Because if this has got an independent tank engine running each wheel of it, that thing's probably going to be pretty fast. But there's
But
no
is
way
it like
fuck
those-
it's going to be quiet.
Yeah, it's those massive, you know, the big dump truck wheels?
Yeah.
That's what he has on it. Like, it has 6 of those wheels. Maybe 8. Trying to decide. Yeah, probably 6. 6.
So by the time we're talking about it, this vehicle is probably 40 or 50 feet long.
Yeah.
How many people could it hold in?
Pretty good crew.
A lot.
Now, if you take like the bed of one of those big trucks, right? That I'm talking about, you know the big dump trucks on like the big excavation sites.
Yeah, the giant mine trucks is
Yeah,
what you're
the
talking
earth
Yeah.
about.
movers. Yeah.
If you take a back of one of those, it's like that, but it's all encompassed. And it has sliding like assault doors that he has set up to launch the action out of.
One at the
So
top,
this
one
thing
at the bottom.
probably weighs as much as 6 Abrams or something stupid.
This is something that would more than likely roll right over the top of Click's armored car and not even notice it was there.
Yeah,
Sid looks at Harlan and he goes,
this thing is stupid.
"Hey, Harlan, I see a bunch of really big wheels, but where is the vehicle? Where is the..."
It's
Like-
there. Look up further. See the big metal
Huge
box?
chunks
it's
of
hooked
metal
to?
hanging in the area above the wheel. Like
Harlan,
massive
I
chunks.
don't see a vehicle. I see a death trap.
And I will look right at it and say, yeah. What other... Can you come up with another idea or another choice? I mean... I would love to be able to just give the location where this armored train is to say, oh, I don't know, a contact at Militech if I had one saying, there's lots of loot here, go blow it up. Love to see them send in some AVs and just take it the hell out. But I don't want to be anywhere near where that's going on. The issue is, Shade's got a friend that's on there. The Nomads want us to be able to do what we need to handle this. I honestly believe that whatever these smokers have been gathering up, looting, and stealing, probably going to be pretty well massed up on that train, and that's worth a lot of eddies. And we're starting to run real light. We're going to need a lot, and I mean a lot, of money to do what we need to in Night City, to grease all the right palms, to get the information that we need, to get in and get out with what we came there for. I want to find out where my grandfather is. Blackstone needs to know where his parents are. You seem to just be out for finding out everything you can. So the more information we've got about this train, the better. But I don't think anybody's got it.
I am not against going against this train. It is not what I thought I would be doing. And I don't know if I'm going to survive, but I was dead anyway, so I guess dead again.
No risk, no reward.
He says internally, if she sees a control node and in the train and is done for, best jump to it, because if he dies and she doesn't, then she dies too.
I think it sounds like I missed something pretty significant.
No, not at
Zid's
all.
pretty sure the vehicle's a death trap. We've been talking about it back and forth, and we're not talking about it loudly because even though this guy's got cameras and stuff everywhere, which I'm gonna then turn and I'm gonna holler to Mr. Fix. Hey, you don't have a net connection here, anywhere, do you?
He comes in. I got a lot of net connection, all within this complex, this area. Why?
But they're just local network, right?
Yeah, I don't want to connect to their network.
Right. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Does with his goggles on, does Zid see any surveillance that shouldn't be here that he might not know about?
No.
Anything coming from outside? No.
You get a feeling this guy's probably pretty well paranoid.
Oh yeah. I just...
Only mildly. I mean,
Ever since those irritating dweebs made me work on that stupid train, I've had nothing but problems.
Oh,
Why do you think I want to hide even more?
He knows exactly what this train
Wait.
is.
the smokers train, the one we're talking about assaulting, you worked on it.
Why do you think I'm building something to take it out? I'm upset.
Well,
You think I'd do this for free otherwise?
why I was wondering how you were getting paid anyway, because we's fucking broke. But since you have motivation to be doing it otherwise, perhaps could you give us a layout on the train so that we know what we're getting into?
Because they may have changed it, but I can give you what I got.
Perfect. That's better than the nothing.
Well, let me
we
finish
already
this
have.
first. You're good with that.
Yeah. I mean,
What am I going to tell you? No, that would be rude.
I mean, I didn't think you really need to know the layout of the train until we're able to get to it, but...
Sooner we can plan, the better.
All right. So he works on that. He points you to a folder he has with some documents on it.
Oh,
Rough sketches of the train.
So I'm going to find a table somewhere where we're not interfering with his workspace and spread all the documents out.
Yeah.
and make sure that I get a good full brain dance scan of all of them, so that if I need to reference them later, I can just do so.
I want to study them as well.
See that there's listing of 2 diesel engines that have been retrofitted to functional again and had military grade C-arm slapped on the outside of it. It looks like they created based on the information you're seeing and your knowledge of the collective group coming together is what I'm going to say. It looks like they were supplied based out of a abandoned National Guard base that had some APCs, and they just basically took all the armor off and used it for their train.
So how many cars are there in the train?
That is stated as unknown. Knows that there is 5 that they had. But he also has notes there that they talked about additional cars. There is 2 cargo, 2 passenger, and 1 they didn't tell him about.
Okay.
He had overheard that there was 5 cars that he knew about. But he also heard them talking about possibly trying to get more. But he doesn't know the full status, because, like he said, he's been working on this for 10 years. During that time, they had drafted him off to work on get the train up and running. He obviously isn't very happy about it.
Well, I mean, Stitcher wasn't very happy about working for him either. They don't pay well.
I mean, they pay really well. They let you have your life.
No, that's not pay. I already own that.
They don't think so. But yeah, great fun. So yeah, the details are there. There's 2 engines, 5 cars. The engines are synced, so only one has to actually have a driver.
Could we, if we board it, is one at the rear, 1 engine on each end?
No, they're both in the front.
What?
They're both in the front.
Oh, they're both in the front. Okay.
2 engines and cars.
Okay.
They're basically kind of linked together because it needed additional power to pull and move at a better rate with tons of armor strapped on it.
And they've armored all of it. You're talking the cargo train, the cargo compartments are armored.
Based on his notes, it sounds like they welded on or strapped on, modified on the whole 5 cars anyways, EPC or armored truck parts or whatever they could put on it for armor plating from the National Guard depot that they stripped.
Okay. Well, that shouldn't matter. We
No,
just
you
need
know.
to get on the train, and
Small arms fire is going to work great.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna do shit to it, basically. You know, as much as I didn't like the thought of it more than anything else, I'm thinking Zed's old friend with all the bombs might actually be amazingly useful right now.
Knock all. Hi guys.
Zed hears knock all, and both of his fingers go into his ears, and he begins humming.
Zed will ask this man if he installed or heard about an internal web, like network or network way that might connect the train inside, because like that would block out pretty much any outside signal.
Yeah, they put a net in there. They wanted to make sure they had fire suppression as well as alarms and such. So I know they have a network built into it. I didn't get access to that, but I know they got one.
What kind of fire suppression? Do you remember?
No, I didn't get access to that. They didn't let me do it. They had someone else doing that part.
Because as far as I know, fire suppression is either something that chokes the fire out so it can't breathe and doesn't burn, or it's a foam that puts it out. And either way, if we could turn that on for no real reason of a fire, I mean, if a fire can't breathe, nobody in the train is going to breathe either.
Depending on what it's made of, yeah.
Do you remember
people to get out of there? God
Do you
damn it.
remember the name of the person that was working on it?
No, I was never allowed to know that. They kept everyone separate because they didn't trust people for some reason. I wonder. You make enemies and you don't trust people.
Sorry. Can I tell from the drawings how to separate the cars?
Yeah, standard mechanism.
Okay.
That was not changed.
I want to study it because I've probably never really seen it personally.
Oh yeah. If you talk to him, he can actually walk you through it.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I want to know how to separate the cars because as we clear them, we want to pull the cars away.
Oh, that's easy. If you go right down over there on the other side of the shop here, you'll see there's 2 cars over there. You can go over there and play with it.
Thank you. And I will. I'll practice.
He actually has 2 train cars on the other side that you can figure it out and play with it.
I'm going to go play with it.
Practice.
I want to be able to do it flawlessly while we're moving on the move.
Yeah, that's why I said there's one there you can practice. I have a feeling that Shade probably is someone smart enough to know that practice matters.
Do you have
What? Not to do it on the fly?
Do you have a testing environment that I could plug into in your network that would not connect to the rest of your network so that I could get in there without getting into anything that you didn't want me to?
Not really. I just have the one net.
Okay, it's okay.
Sorry.
No, I just thought it would be, if we have some time, it might be good to practice, but that's okay.
That makes sense. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to also practice walking across the rope thing.
Sure. He gestures to, you see a scaffolding that, or not scaffolding, a catwalk that goes up, and then he has it actually currently sitting there being held, where he obviously was testing it out and using it.
Okay.
And it's actually on chains, so it's actually still moving. Whenever there's like a breeze that comes through it all, it's like moving and moving. It's not just there.
Okay. And we should figure out who's gonna most likely be, bringing up the rear, and that person should also memorize how to unhook the cars.
We can take our quick bio break here since we're about at that time. Give you guys a chance to think about any other questions and stuff you have, and then we can get a finalized plan of assault.
Right on.
See you all soon. 10 minutes. Stick around. We'll be right back. thank you all for hanging out. As we now continue the story. Gentlemen, you find yourself in a lovely workshop. Towards your objectives.
I'm gonna go practice the boarding process as well. I think we all need to do that at least 2 or 3 times.
Yep, I'm good with it.
You're gonna see me do it like probably like 50, 100 till I can run across it. I'm gonna be doing it.
I mean, you're going to do it until it's muscle.
Yeah.
Good to know.
That's not how Harlan operates. I wish I could eat those.
Wait, what is that? Yum. Peanut butter and pretzels is a phenomenal combination.
So,
Combination of both my allergies. No thanks.
right. Let's hurt you and kill you at the same time.
No, it's not that severe, but not fun. I will say that. Definitely not fun.
So,
What kind of rolls do we need to make to practice?
just time constraints. Due to the fact that it's not a... You're not pushing yourself initially and risking it. Basically, the fact that you're putting the time in means it's going to adjust the DV when you actually assault the vehicle.
Yeah,
So-
I'm going to do it enough till I feel comfortable enough to like, this isn't going to get any better for me.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Shade, I know you said you were going to go work on decoupling and the train.
Yeah, I want to be able to do that as fluidly as possible as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a second person as well to come over and train on it, whoever wants to, because if for some reason I'm in the front, we need somebody in the back to pull the pin.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So Blackstone's going to be joining you. Okay.
Okay.
Got that down in your notes so you remember that you've practiced that.
Do these
Yes, Matt.
train cars have internals as well?
They have some internals, but no net.
So Sid would definitely take some time practicing the bridge, but he would also pace out for himself each train car. Like he would measure them out. He would see, how many steps it is from one side to the other in either direction. And he would also he would also see if he can reach like the roof, or if he has to jump, or if they're like how high the roof is, so he would measure that too.
Have you been in a train car?
I've been in a few different train cars, but I think, they might be all sort of similar, but I know at least here there are like 4 different like sizes, and they're all fairly different. Like when you're talking about to a person, they're different.
Okay. They all have the same width and typically the same length. Based on the aspects that, they have to.
The tunnels determine that.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think Zid's ever been on a train, so he's gonna take time to like pace all of these out. He's gonna take time to and he'll close his eyes after like 10 goes, and he will close his eyes, and then he will pace it again, and he'll see if he like bangs into anything.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
So there is a little difference. Went ahead and quickly looked to verify my thoughts. They're all the same width. There's a 50, 60 foot standard and high roof option. And then there's a 86 foot as well. That one has the high roof.
I'm going to go to Mr.
That one is
Fix,
specifically built to ship automobile parts. It's an auto boxcar.
and I'm going to ask Mr. Fix the cars that he worked on for them. Obviously, he didn't work on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
What sizes, what heights, which types of cars were they?
Yep. Let's see. Of course, you have the flatbeds.
Yeah, and Zid's idea is phenomenal, so I'll do the same thing and practice the movement with your eyes shut and everything, be able to pace the inside of the width of a car very naturally.
Trying to see if they have the...
Also climb on top and run around. Jump from car to car.
It's not the passenger car. The other thing for dimensions. All right, so the cargo ones. The 50 standard has a inside height of 10 foot. The high roof is 13 foot. So you're not going to be like slapping that thing. Unless, of course, they built the floor up enough, right? Inside width is 9 foot 6 inches. Inside length varies, obviously, because it's either 60 foot or 50 foot, typically.
Minus whatever they built on the inside of it as well, too.
It's actually a few inches longer than that, which is the odd thing.
Also, the entrances and exits from them will be somewhat typical of what we'll find on any car.
Yeah.
So
They're
there's going to be a
all
variety
the
of practice
center.
egress in and out of the different entrances, like climbing up on the train, getting back into the cars, practice all that stuff. Even if it's not a perfect replica, it will at least have some familiarity.
Correct. And they tend to have a sliding door or a door. But they're one or the other. And that's pretty much it. So, freight capacity is 70 to 100 tons. So, it can carry a little. There is few different flat car variants that are used for different things, where it's basically big metal platform on wheels.
Where they mount the howitzers.
Maybe.
Figure out if it's possible to climb along the undercarriage of the train.
Yes and no.
And be able to transition to the sides.
Sides are pretty slick. You don't know how well that's going to be with armor plating, but that's going to be sketchy based on what you're seeing
Unlikely.
on the ones here. Yeah.
Hold on. Mr. Fix. Your magnet attachment set up like that. Do you have something that you could build that would be like gloves and boots that could have that same kind of, not necessarily as powerful, but enough to hold like my weight or my friend's weight to the side of this if we were to fall?
I mean, if I had time, yeah.
I have a task for Blackstone when he gets back.
You dirty.
And I'm going to say that right to Mr. Fix. I says, I've got a task for Mr. Blackstone because you're fucking busy.
Ah, smart. That grunt needs to smarten up.
Well, he's actually pretty good with what he does for that.
I don't know. He had to get himself chopped up to be functional. That's pretty lame.
Not all of us live out here in the middle of nowhere where it's okay to be like this. If you live in the city, you kind of got to live by the way the city works.
If you don't, you'll get eaten.
That's disgusting. You're cannibals?
Not literally. I just mean you'll be dead.
Oh. Why did you
It's
say
rough.
eaten? That's just confusing.
The city chews people up and spits them out.
Okay,
It's
I'm
an
gonna go back to
expression.
work. Oh man.
I don't know. I think the magnet gloves and boots or setup like that is actually a really good idea because,
Yeah, it'd make it a lot easier to scale the sides.
well, and what happens when we get there and we have to be able to transition from one car to another and they've literally sealed off so that you can't get in and out one way. He said that there was one
We're
car
gonna,
that they
we're gonna need cutting instruments to get through any sealed hatches.
I was thinking more blasting instruments, but
I
Mention
mean, Blackstone
Narco,
might
that could
have
be a
one
lot
in
of fun.
his. Does Blackstone have one in his arm, like a cutting torch?
yeah, we saw him pull out a blowtorch earlier.
Well, blowtorch and a cutting torch aren't the same thing.
You'll have to see what he has on it back in there. But have you seen like the train cars and stuff? A lot of them are quite smooth on the exterior.
Well, cargo
They're
cars
not.
tend to have a flat top.
Yeah. No, you could walk along the top possibly. But I'm saying like the sides are not likely.
Hey, Blackstone.
Yep.
I have a fabrication task for you.
Oh, yay. Sounds good.
We need gloves and boots with sufficiently powerful enough magnets on them, or if we do need to scale underneath or along the side of these cars, that we can do so without falling the fuck off.
Okay.
We also need cutting instruments to be able to cut open any hatches or doors that are barred from us.
Okay. Is that like a basic tech or demolitions or
Demolitions would be really loud. It would be fast, but loud.
let's see.
Some sort of like cutting torch.
Sounds like a basic tech thing. So I'm gonna make a fabricate roll. If that's okay with you, DM.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna, well, I've got 6 luck. So am I fabricating all this at once, or am I just doing one at a time?
One at a time.
Okay. All right, so this
Go.
is for the
5 chances. And if you watch any of them up, down by that number.
Okay. Let's
So
do-
basically, you pick a person,
Okay.
and you can roll for them, or you can just, pick a number and see how many successes you have.
All right. I'm
This, you're
gonna
trying to get
roll-
the exact strength to be able to hold someone's weight,
Yep.
yet weak enough that they can detach and.
Sure.
So that's going to make the DV a little higher than just be able to hold someone.
Yeah.
Well, unless what you're talking about is an electromagnet that you're turning on and off,
It's true.
that's not going to be as hard. That would be it. It's either on and it's holding you on there, or you turn it off when you move your hand, and you make sure
But
you're
that's
only
going to be
turning
harder if you do
one of them.
boots.
Yeah,
You'd
that
have to
DV
do
is
just
going to be
hand ones.
higher.
You could just do gloves then.
And ones you could have it where these are handles with buttons that you turn them on by hitting a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably be sufficient.
Okay. So I'm actually gonna not make any luck rolls with those. I'm just gonna do straight basic
Well,
tech.
first off, what is the method that you guys are thinking of using for them? What is the actual mechanical aspect to it?
I'm
I
of the
like the
opinion.
idea of. I like the EM idea.
The electromagnet?
I like that, but I'm open to others.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Well, I mean, that way it's set to a specific strength. It's going to be more than enough to hold our weight while we're using it, and you make each one of them like the weight that this is stuck on with one hand should be enough to hold our own weight times 2 kind of thing, because of the gear that we're probably going to have to be carrying to do that stuff on there. Yeah. And then it's just an on off for how you do it, so that it's enough. And then there's, you know, the other part that goes along with that is that if you're doing it the right way, they could also be used as weapons. You know, you put them on either side of somebody's head who's got cyberware on them, turn them on, and go clack.
Yeah. So this is essentially like I do weightlifting. This is basically like weightlifting gloves that allow you to hold the bar better.
So we can attach to the thing.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna roll for Zid first because he weighs the least. Am I right? So his DV should be the lowest.
I mean, we don't know. It's not about weight. It's about configuration. It's about configuring.
Precision.
All right. Let's see.
Thing is, even if you have one set, let's say you get shades, right?
Yeah.
Then he could circle around and come back and open the door to let you guys in. You have to backtrack, open it, and go through. So it's advantageous if more than one person can. However, at the same time, you at least want one.
Yeah. All right, so I'll add 2 points of luck here to this roll. This is going to be for Shade.
Okay.
Shade, what is your body set anyway?
8.
Okay. So me and you are the same on that. Nice. Oh, wow. 33.
So you jot down superior.
You're welcome.
I told you there are 2 things that Blackstone does really well. He shoots things and he makes things.
He shoots things okay. He makes things pretty well.
Gear. Is there a way to add custom gear in here?
Just don't let him drive. Even though his stats say he should be, his stats say he should be decent at it, but his rolls.
Keep in mind that the first thing that I'm going to do when we get back to Night City is to buy a driving simulator program, and I'm going to send it to his agent just as an asshole move.
And I'll actually I won't take it that way. I'll actually think you were trying to help me, and I'll actually use it just to increase my stats. I'll use it. I'll add a couple of points into driving just for that. Okay.
So yeah, Shade can put in his notes.
How to add items?
Just in the notes, you can just throw it for now.
Okay.
This one's going to be for.
Or I can. Just like on your personal notes, you can put it like it doesn't even character sheet notes.
The next set's
I'll
going to
just
be.
write it down on a piece of paper here.
Yeah, it's just wherever you keep notes to track. I didn't give you your journal. You need to do that as well.
Wait, you mean this?
Yeah.
Generally
What's that? I don't know what paper looks like.
Analog notes, my man. Analog notes. It's how I've got 30-year-old vampire campaigns.
The next time we're ready, the roll's going to be for me.
Okay.
I keep analog notes, but only for in-person games.
And you said excellent quality or superior?
Superior.
Quality?
Yeah.
Superior.
Mine was a 31 for me.
Alright, so I added sections for you guys. Journals, that area.
Okay.
In the game as well, so you guys can go to that if you. I realized I hadn't done that just now.
Is that under personal records?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Shit.
If you go to data repo,
Okay.
document archives, you can go to personal records, player journal, and be there. Why are they not there?
You said personal records?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not there. I just have like
Oh,
whatever.
I know why. I got it. I put them in another spot that they needed, and I didn't put them in the other. You know, I'm just being a professional.
Oh, you're good. Not that I'm doing any better.
She seems to have calmed.
She does. I mean, she's just gnawing on her crap toy. I mean, it's an aggressive chew toy, and she's chewed off like 3 or 4 of the legs already.
Keep in
Sounds
mind
about
that a buddy of mine's got a lab aperture mix that you can buy the toys that they say that are indestructible,
Yeah, and they'll destroy.
and he'll have them destroyed in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Like the Kong toys, them great big heavy duty things like that, in pieces in 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
I've also watched that dog bite down once real hard on a oak broom handle and just bite the fucker right in half.
Absolutely.
How do I edit this to type in there?
So when you
Use
click
a
on
pencil.
it, there is a little pencil icon that you can click. So if you put your mouse over where it says the name, it'll pop up with a pencil, and you just click that, and it'll type.
Not seeing that.
So, give the stream up.
Yeah.
You'd click your name and mouse over. You see there's a little pencil that pops up here. Click that. It pops up this window, and then you just type in here.
Yeah, so to the right of my name along that red line, there's no pencil.
No pencil there. That is.
Yeah.
Parrot. Oh. Didn't give you ownership. That's why it's being a pain. Right now.
Now it's there. Excellent. Thank you.
Yep. Sorry.
Ah, the little things that just add up.
Right?
What's my 31 get me? Same thing.
Superior quality for that.
This person trying to get stuff done.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I just feel bad that this hadn't been done, and I didn't realize it, and
No big deal.
The life of a
We're
DM.
there.
there we go. Now you guys actually have access to your things. Go figure.
Look at that.
All right, so yes, another good one. Who is that for, you said?
Me.
Okay. Jot down that you have it.
Okay.
I meant to have this for you guys all along so you could update your stuff, so I am sorry.
Look,
Next
I think
one's,
you've got plenty going on.
the next one is
Yeah.
Let's do Harlan next.
All right. I won.
I'm sorry. It wasn't as good.
No.
25 is still pretty good.
25 is still,
quality, yeah.
yeah.
That's when I roll a 2.
So yeah, you have a
No,
base of 16.
Yeah. I didn't roll. I didn't put any luck into that one.
16. Holy.
16 is just below professional group.
Yep.
So yeah, this is kind of.
This is my wheelhouse. This is what I excel at. Not to mention the fact that I have my fabrication workshop.
Yeah.
Portable one.
Well, the workshop being here allows you to actually do any of this if you didn't have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I have the mod
Yeah.
on it as well.
Yeah, then
So
as soon
makes
as I
it-
draft it, I'll be practicing climbing around on the cars with it.
I mean, my base roll was a 20.
Yeah.
All right. So what does that get, Harlan?
He has a good one.
Okay.
Not quite as good, but it's a good one.
The next one's for Zid.
Got an awesome one.
Let's see this.
So why do yours guys all look like professionally tailored specific things, and I get the ski mitts?
Apparently, you upset him about his driving.
Maybe
there's something you said about a mermaid in water.
Last rules for Stitcher. If somebody could go in and edit Stitcher's thing, whatever, I think that'd be great.
Oh,
What is that about?
Failed. You actually failed the DV. DV was one above that required to at least get a functional. You rolled exactly what you needed to be down one set, so Stitcher doesn't get one.
Yeah, okay. So Stitcher just stays behind.
That was awesome. 1 point. 1 point.
I actually thought about
it's cosmic justice.
thought about adding some luck, but I just that's fine. It's pretty bad because like I said, my base roll is 20, and
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Your base is 20 with
everything.
everything you have there.
Yep.
Should be able to get above a 17 fairly likely. No, 16.
Unless I fail. Like, I mean, when I rolled a 2, when I rolled a 2, I had 25.
it takes a 1. It takes a 1 and then a decent enough number on that 1 to make it that bad.
If I had failed and rolled a 3, I would have, or rolled a 7, I would have passed.
Yep. And that's
And
the
then I
thing.
would
Like
stop complaining about my ski mitt looking things after you hand Stitcher something that looks like boxing gloves.
no,
I mean,
he goes to Stitcher and says,
no one had-
I'm sorry, I couldn't get one that works.
Nope. Yeah, he just doesn't get anything. Like,
You give him a set of gloves, he goes to turn them on, and they joy buzzer him.
They shock him.
Oh, what is this?
Man, and I patched you up. Jerk.
okay, so 4 out of the 5 get good gear or better. That's fine. I mean, that's not bad.
enough for us to be. That's enough for us to be able to, even if we have to have one person waits at the back of the train car while we move around to the front.
100%.
Not to mention, these are going to be incredibly useful for forever. I mean, any
As long as it's
metal,
on a
Scaling
metal
powers.
structure.
yeah, any metal, it's going to be incredibly useful.
Yep.
Now the next question is:
Any
the outside of these train cars are ferromagnetic, right?
We don't know.
Let's go test.
yeah, we will.
They're going to be modified after this, like
I'm going to
They've
go
got
to
APC.
Yep, I'm gonna go to Fix and say, hey, what's the armor for them vehicles? Did you help him with that?
He already said that.
That stuff's magnetic, right?
The armors that I helped with, yes.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure as I'm gesturing around with these new sets of gloves on. Then I'm gonna go over and climb up the catwalk with it.
50 little toys you have there.
Just trying to get any edge we can. Next, we need to come up with cutting instruments that are going to be fast enough to cut into the doors or hatches. How are they sealed from the inside? Do you know? Are they barred or?
They were standard doors when I was there, but I don't know if they changed them.
How would you do it if you were going to make them?
Replace it completely.
Okay, so assuming the toughest way to enter, how would you get in?
You wouldn't. If I did my job right.
Let's
here.
assume they
brings
don't
you
have
over. Brings you over to a armored car wall.
Yeah.
Get on in.
Okay.
They still have to be able to get in and out. They can't seal themselves in permanently.
No, this is a APC that he has, a spare one, that he's done something with, that he's basically saying, try to get in it. This is what he would do to keep getting in it. And said you can try to get in it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to examine it and see what... How is it supposed to be opened?
There's a hatch in the back that looks like it's a door that's supposed to be open from the inside.
Inside only? Okay.
I'll turn and look at him. I need a shape charge explosive. You got any of those?
Sure. Here you
I
go.
think one.
He hands you one.
Do you
Put it in my bag. I don't know how to use this. Zed, do you know how to use this?
Yeah, man. You could say that I have some very real life experience with such things.
I have theoretical experience with these. I don't want to be the one setting them.
Hey, Knockout will help you out.
No, he won't. Knockall will want to help us out and accidentally hand us a 12 kiloton nuke.
Well, assuming they don't have your brilliance to make their doors, there's going to be a flaw. Where would you suspect it would be? Where's the most likely weakness that we could exploit to get in?
On the
building
bottom
on-
of the carriage, man. That's where the floor generally is.
So building on what
It's not a
Shake
bad
just
idea.
asked, that's what my role was for, to try and find the weak point and blow it.
So you set it and fire it off. Like it made a good scorch mark on the armor.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
own treatment of anti-explosive treatment. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah,
Well
but they
done.
don't have that, do they?
Well, if he did it
No.
if he did it,
No, he didn't do that for them. That's why I'm asking him, because he's the one who worked on them. He didn't give them that.
so
They
Can I get
didn't
some of that on
ask.
like a suit?
No,
A
it's gonna
mech?
be too heavy. Not
In
gonna
other words, mech?
No.
so I asked, and
Did they armor the underside of the train at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's our way in, guys. Just like
Okay.
that's the only way. Trying to go through.
All
the
right, now I'm going
doors.
to try practicing climbing under the train with the gloves.
so, and we're not. So, I would not. Let's try and cut. Let's try and cut the hole without blowing and letting them know that we're there. Let's try and do it this like little stealthy like. I can like my. I want to like so my tech hand should be able to like at least make a hole that big or big enough, right?
Have on
I mean,
it
I
that
can-
you'd be using to make the hole.
You have
I
a,
mean,
your cutting
does it
tool?
have a functional? Does it have a functional blowtorch on it?
Blowtorch and cutting torch are different.
Does it have a functional cutting torch on it?
Does it?
Let me look. Hang on.
Because the difference is, blowtorch is more for simple, quick welds,
Yeah.
cutting on shit metal. The plasma cutter you're talking about is a little bit heavier duty.
Each finger in your hand has a different tool. That's all it says. Page 366. Oh, let's pull out the big book.
Do you have anything for, like, I don't know, sleep gas grenades? Any kind of ways? Because we may not need to have some big fucking hole in there. if what we do is cut a little bitty hole and then shove a smoke grenade up in there and fucking choke them the fuck out of there.
Not a bad
They
idea.
have to open the doors.
Not
That's
a bad
fair.
idea.
Yeah.
I don't have any of
Let's
that
do
sort
it.
of thing, but that's a great idea.
Oh, we can make it.
What page do you say that was on? 3.
366, but so it says something like screwdriver, wrench, blah blah blah, etc. So it probably doesn't have a cutting torch. Excuse me.
Cutting torch requires a fuel of some kind, and I really don't think
Yeah.
you're probably going to be using,
No.
your body mass for
It sounds like the most mechanically advanced tool on there is a drill.
But I personally think if we can get a hole into the bottom of the car,
Yeah,
pop a
screwdriver,
smoke
wrench,
grenade
small
up
drill.
in there.
Yeah.
Would a saw be more efficient? I mean, it certainly wouldn't be quieter, but
Saw would be a lot louder, and you're assuming it can be created with a blade that can cut through it. The issue with saws is they also tend to get dull as you use.
yeah.
Yeah. I've done plenty enough friction blades cutting rebar.
What
They
if,
don't last.
can
It's doable,
I do?
but
Can I make a cutting torch, like a portable, like a small portable cutting torch that can make a hole small enough, or big enough rather, to get a grenade in there?
you can try. Keep in mind, rules as written, I should be docking your funds right. Ew.
Feel free. How much?
I mean,
Have fun.
4 pairs of pretty impressive electromagnetic gloves.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over at Fix It. You willing to help us fund doing this for a cut of the take on the train? You got a lot of parts here.
But, you offering?
I'm gonna have to discuss that with my compatriots, but remember the nomads are in on this as well too.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'll say it flat out. We'll be fair with you. You've been nothing but fair with us.
Zid,
And I'll offer him a non-augmented body part, meaning my hand, to shake on that.
Zid
I'll
will
see what I
check
can do.
the APC that he's got there that's armored and stuff. And what he is specifically looking for is a underhinge catch like you find in a car bonnet that you can sort of get your fingers under and click, and then it will pop up.
Okay.
Just
Conceal
in
reveal.
case it's like it's been pulled down, and then clicked into to the bottom. Conceal reveal.
Oh
That
boy.
sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Jesus
Roll a
Christ.
resist torture drug.
Damn.
As you slam the thing down on your fingers.
12.
Yeah. You guys see Zid go poking around this APC. And he's like, "Eh," and he just falls over.
I'm gonna look over at Mr. Fix. What did he just grab?
Oh, he got my anti-theft device in there. It just gave him a shock. He'll be back awake in, I don't know, an hour.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
Go over and drag him away so he's not lying on the ground in some horrible, uncomfortable position.
Or in a pool of his
Zid
own.
has slept in
nirvana.
worse.
Sid
Blown
has
out
probably
building.
slept
Yeah,
in a
probably.
trash can in a blown out
Oh,
building. at some
yeah.
point.
And being glad of it, honestly.
This is a second layer of hide. Just call me Oscar.
I'm sorry, man. I'm kidding.
There's a great video of this guy getting chased, but like in real life by like some bad types, and he leaps into a trash can. They even look inside and they can't see him.
The one that I like the best is, and I don't know where it was. You see this on security footage. You see this guy come running into a room, look around, see another room, open the door, look in there, turn and go back to the corner that's right by the door that he just came in, and literally pick up and hold, like it's like some part of a display thing that's right there in front of him, and just freeze. You watch like 6 SWAT guys come into the room, look, go past and into the other room, and he drops the thing and goes right out the fucking door they just came in originally.
I've seen that.
It is actual security footage. They didn't catch that guy. They found it out later. They're like, how did this guy get out? So they check all the footage. And you can bet that those 6 assholes, they got in so much trouble after that for not properly clearing that fucking room.
That was funny. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what am I doing?
So yeah, Zid's taking 40 winks at the moment.
Yep.
Am I trying to make this cutting torch with funds of?
While Zed is sleeping, I'm gonna text Blue and ask if she can wake him back up right now.
You don't get a response.
No response, huh? That's a good thing to know. It means that while Zid's off, so is she.
That's a good thing.
I didn't say it was a good thing. It's just a piece of knowledge to have.
Okay.
It's a good thing to know.
I'm pretty sure I heard you say that's a good thing.
Good thing to know.
It's a good thing to know.
Okay.
There's a distinction there.
Okay. Anyway,
It may have a difference.
so now that we've made this agreement with Mr. Fix for funding or using what's available, I'm gonna try and make one of those mini portable blowtorches.
What would he suggest for trying to cut open the bottom side of one of these trains?
Mm-hmm.
Plasma cutter?
How big you want it to open and how risky you want it to be? Oh, hand size?
Yeah.
We're talking about forcing them to open the doors to come out.
We're also hoping for as quiet as possible so as to not alert them with any extra warning.
I have an invention I want to try. I haven't been able to yet.
Ooh.
Let me finish this
That
up and we'll
sounds
get back
fun.
to that.
I'm interested for sure. If I don't have to invent it, let's do it.
He points over to something. And it's this container. It almost looks like a aluminum powder or something. But it's a bit of a paste.
He didn't invent thermite. That's been around for a long. Oh, sorry.
I didn't
Although
say
that
anything
would
about
generate the smoke that we would need at the same time.
We could just drop that on top and be good. Just drop it in the corner of a car on top. It'd burn through. It'd smoke up the whole thing. They'd have to open the doors.
Just better hope you don't drop it down on your...
No, I'm not using that.
That was great.
It's that familiar smell that he remembers from the combat zone.
No.
White phosphorus is being used a lot in combat.
Yeah.
Oh, and keep in mind that thermite's not actually that hard to make. It's a simple chemical reaction you can make in a beer can. With all you got to do is have the right ratios of aluminum oxide and iron oxide, and you end up with a little strip of magnesium to get it going.
Cars rust are all easy in the Midwest.
Oh, hi, buddy.
There's a lot of rust in the Midwest.
I mean, we're in the middle of the desert, so I assume there's a lot of rust out here too.
Oh yeah.
Not so much.
That's probably that.
Well,
That's
it still oxidizes. It just doesn't end up doing quite the same thing as you get for the nasty ass wet that you have here.
And the salt. Salt tears your car apart.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be your beta
So-
tester.
Basically, he made a thermite paste.
So you have a
Can
way
you
to
put it, can
apply
you put
it?
it in something that like I don't have to dig it out?
Yeah,
Like-
so it's not like you pour it. It's
Yeah.
paste. Like you could literally like squeeze it out of a tube.
Good.
So we could do that just on top. We don't even have to get underneath.
The look on Matt's face right now is no.
No.
You don't like thermite?
I think that it's a good option to have, but we should always have a backup plan.
Yep, like my cutter. It's a simple backup plan.
Can
And
we
if they
test?
didn't do a
Can
good
we
enough
test
job on
your?
the doors, we might be able to just cut right into the door.
Can we test your paste on the underside of your car, one of your rail cars over here?
Sure.
Somebody with demolitions, could you please test
Yep.
the paste on the underside?
Oh.
Wait, somebody
I
that's
didn't say
awake.
me. I'm not stupid. I like all my bits attached.
Hey, I can always hope.
I'm gonna keep a really close eye on how he's doing this. I really want to learn how to do this, so I'm gonna watch.
What does Ocho get me? Or 20.
A 2 would be far worse.
It would be much, much worse.
Let's put it this way. Kind of was hoping get a few less than that.
Yeah, so I blow my hand off and need another tech hand.
It doesn't explode. Thermite
No,
doesn't
it
explode.
doesn't blow up.
It
Burn-
just
burn
explodes.
my hand off.
Well, it does if it's in a grenade and there's a propellant inside. Like,
Well, yeah, there's propellant, but it's not
Like powder.
pressurized in a container with a propellant. It has a propellant, but not inside a container. Yeah, so you guys have seen those like sparkler flares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of has a bit of that, but he had to attach and light in. It ignites like you'd normally see thermite ignite, mixed with a sparkler, and just like the whole thing around, and it's just molten slag that drips out.
I'm gonna go inside the train car. How filled with smoke is this? From that.
A bit, but not a ton.
how loud is it?
While it was going on, I would have been going in there to be in
Yeah.
there while it was going on, to see if I could deal with the fumes,
So-
to see if I could.
Should we do a
Heat rose,
perception?
but the fumes and stuff with it kind of, blew it off because it go in first. It had to melt its way in. So I would see fewer fumes and smoke inside, but there is some. But a lot of times thermite doesn't leave a lot of fumes because it burns so hot it destroys the oxygen. So you would need that for there to be fumes.
Okay. So we need the hole and we need tear gas grenades. We're gonna need gas masks for this, guys.
I think being that it takes some time to like test that out. I think. Did you say an hour or a couple of hours it is out?
Just one.
Her name.
You're probably up by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zed will speak. When he'll be like.
Do I get a text in response?
He's awake now.
Thanks, Blue. I'm gonna head back outside. Come on, Zed. Let's go. I'm gonna help you out. You ran afoul of the
How much of this
anti-theft
thermite
device.
paste does he have?
I have a gas mask for what it's worth.
Good.
He made a 5-gallon paint bucket
Wow.
full of his thermite paste.
How much did it take to burn the
We
little
could
hole
each,
that
we
just
could
did?
each be carrying a tube. Wow.
Few ounces, because I mean it's just a ring that he put on. I didn't think he was gonna smear it all over the whole thing.
Okay. Well, what I'm thinking is that this is just as easily squirted into the seam of a door.
Yeah.
That way as well if need be. But I still think our best bet is to force them to open the doors themselves.
Mm-hmm.
To force them to have to come out. And while tear gas is unpleasant,
It won't kill anybody.
it's not going to kill anybody. It's going to make them be incapacitated.
It'll make them wish they were dead.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna make them mad.
Well, I'm going to say this flat out. Having been someone who has experienced tear gas in the face before, you are incapable of doing much of anything with the fact that your nose, eyes, and throat are basically weeping all the fluids that they produce as fast as they can manage, while it feels like the whole inside of your lungs and throat are on fire.
There has never been so much snot.
Oh, God. Both me and Malkev had to deal with the tear gas thing during boot camp. They exposed us to it so that we knew what it would be like.
Won't
There
kill
has
you.
never been so much snot. Ever.
It's very unpleasant.
Nobody's going to be combat effective if they have just been exposed to that.
Yeah. There actually is a DV, just torture drug, on tear gas
Yeah.
for that reason.
To be able to function. I mean,
Because
because, yeah, experienced combat veterans might still be able to fight. But
And anybody
might cause them to
tear
open the door
gas
for it.
grenade, it's
Yeah.
a price category of 50, costly. It deals no damage. If hit, target with meat eyes. DV13, resist torture drug on failed, suffer eye damage, critical injury. Or 1 minute.
Yeah, they're basically blinded for a minute.
Well,
So,
if the,
I can see the colors. The colors are good.
hey Zid, how effective is tear gas at working on keeping people busy? You think that'll let us out?
They won't see the colors anymore.
oh man. For what it's worth, Zid and Harlan do not have they do not have gas masks in their gear. The rest
No,
of us
I do not. I know I don't. Was not
Actually,
something
Shane,
that
I didn't look at
considered-
yours. Do you have one? Me and Stitcher have one.
I'm not sure if I did.
I don't have access to your character sheet or open it.
Oh, I thought you did.
Did I grab one of those? I did not buy gas masks.
So I need to make 3.
I have a radio. I have binoculars. But I do not have
Actually, rules as written, they don't say anything about breathing tear gas. Interesting. So rules as written.
They cover your eyes. It's a full face mask usually.
Well, I was just going to say, Stitcher actually would be immune to it because it says meat eyes.
Meat eyes.
Yeah, if you have
That's
cyber eyes, you're not going to be able
No,
to.
then I'm immune to it. Why do I need the same thing?
That's if you go rules as written, which says you don't have to worry about any respiratory aspect of it.
And that's up to you as far as that goes. I will tell you right now that I personally, while the snot and the blinding part of it sucked, the feeling like the inside of my throat and lungs was on fire was far, far scarier to me from when I breathed that shit in than it ever was.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt everywhere.
Yeah. And there were people people who had exceptionally strong reactions to it.
It
Or
was
just
awful.
snotting and weeping. They were puking their guts out for 20 or more minutes, even
Many
after
of
they
them were
washed their.
crying. I mean, we were all like teary, but some of them were just bawling.
Some people have a real bad reaction to it.
It's brutal.
Let me
And-
see here.
Occasionally, and from some of the people that I've also talked to while I was in, some people have no reaction to it whatsoever. Like they'll just sit there like, oh, this is not a big deal. And then the next time they get exposed to a different batch of it, it's the worst thing in the world. It all depends on that particular person's chemical sensitivity and the composition of that batch. So Are we talking about being humane in this circumstance, or are we talking about being effective? Because if I want to be effective, I'm not super interested in just making them blind. I'm more interested in making them incapacitated. So I mean, if we come up with some kind of a sleep
if we
gas,
incapacitate the hostages too much, they won't be functional. We won't be able to get them off the trains. We will be forced to kill everyone else.
not if what we do is get the hostages into safety onto a train car that we're going to detach and just leave them there detached with the instructions to the nomads to pick them up on the first car we cut loose.
Well, the nomads are already going to be looting the cars as we cut them loose.
So, I mean, if we can incapacitate them somehow, look.
Sleep gas, sleep.
It is not in my nature to want to be in any kind of a running firefight, physical altercation at all if I can help it. Am I okay at it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. If what we can do is pop a little hole in the side of the car, throw a grenade of some type of sleep gas up in there, and it knocks everybody the fuck out, we don't have to fight them then.
No, we can
It also then
their throats.
It also then leaves all of their gear and ammo intact and at full value for the price of sale later.
At that point, Zid would stop being a bit flaky with all of this substance, whatever it was that zapped him, almost senseless, and he would say, "Hey man, Blackstone and I, we had some experience with smoke before, and we set it off in a big, in an area with, like, I don't know, what was it, Blackstone, over a dozen?
Yeah.
And only like 4 of them fell asleep, and then the rest of them could wake each other up. It wasn't, how you say, the most... It was good. I'm not saying that it was bad, but perhaps...
Not 100% effective.
So,
Right.
yes, Zid, you're absolutely correct. But sorry, DM. But you also remember that some of them, it took a little bit longer for them to actually take to fall asleep. Eventually, they all fell asleep.
Yeah, if they're trapped in a car and they don't open the doors.
DV-13 does eventually get hit. Keep in mind, DV could potentially be modified based on how much you put into it. It is a expensive device, but that is something you could look into doing. Because there is such thing as biotoxins, flashbangs, incendiary, sleep, tear gas. Those are all things.
What does sleep gas do to someone that's mostly cyber?
All
Very
right.
little.
Let me tell you this. If a meat target, meaning they have meat to them, DV-13 resist torture drug on fail fall prone, unconscious for 1 minute. Can be woken up by damage or another person using the action to wake them up.
If the gas, however, is contained within the area and they haven't opened it up to let it out, they're going to be, in my opinion, continuously being exposed to it. They're going to have to make that DV torture drug 13 every round?
Correct.
If they're trapped,
They've experienced it in Chapter 1. They know the answer.
Literally, that was another episode in Chapter 1.
We'd probably have to drop more than one grenade in a train car because they're pretty big.
No, I mean this in Chapter 1. Whenever we did that,
Well,
it was
keep
in
in
an
mind-
open area.
Yes and no.
It would need to be 2 or 3 in a train.
You used a couple of them, and you hijacked into the vent system going into the room, and made it where...
Oh, you used the ventilation to deliver it to them.
Yeah, so you had it popped and delivered via the ventilation into the room. So
That's ideal. If they don't even know it's in there with them. That's ideal.
That's the thing. They were started conking out because the gas was pumping into the room, and they were dealing with these assaulters at the front door. So they're like,
So,
"Get up! What are you doing?"
so I'm gonna look over at. I'm gonna go back over to Mr. Fix, where he's, I'm sure, back to working on the vehicle, and said, "Did you work on any of the ventilation systems for these cars? Do they even
I think
have
they used just
ventilation?"
what was out by default. I didn't touch those.
I'm gonna go check the rail car for what it's got for ventilation systems.
Have you been in a rail car? There's not a lot.
There's nothing in them, basically. The door's either open or it's closed, and in a lot of cases, yeah,
Windows open or closed, doors open or closed. Yeah,
if it's a passenger car windows, if it's a cargo car or an armored car, you've got hatches and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, there really aren't windows. Like, it's literally just the door.
Yeah.
I think this is the seeds of our base plan, guys. I get it that we're kind of broke right now, but this is the least risk to us. It's also the least risk to your friend that's hostage to them right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it knocks him out. Sorry. When he wakes back up and you're looking down at him saying, "I got you out, buddy," he's probably not going to give a shit that you knocked his ass out with knockout gas. He's not under smoker control. I mean, I honestly think this is our best bet. It really is.
That's plan number one, yeah, for sure.
All right, we've got plan number one, which is get some smoke and try and either get into the ventilation vents or create our own to pop these gas in for each car, which means if there's minimum of 5 cars, we probably need 15 minimum for that. So we're looking at like 20 smoke grenades. That's not like, yeah.
Unless we take the engine.
Well, what do you think the chances are they're storing the hostages in the engine? Maybe our best bet is to simply
It's
assault.
possible that's why they have Nye in there. He is a very talented technician.
Okay.
I guess high value targets go up.
I'm gonna start cussing under my breath in Polish.
Do we have a secondary idea beyond smoke? Like, that's good. I think we've got idea number one approximately without knowing any more about the vehicle. Now that it's been modified, it's hard to really drill it down much further than that. So
The other way is we just try the thermite on a hatch, get in, and just assault. Just blitzkrieg.
I mean, that's like last resort.
That's very dangerous, which I think we all know, and I'd
Yeah.
rather do the safer route if possible. There's a
Good
thought.
mind. Go for it.
Oh, I was just thinking, the inside of this train car is basically going to be mostly metal. I need rubber pellets for the inside of my shotgun to be non-lethal. Just shove that in through the hole that we made as well and fire off 3 or 4 rounds and have them bounce around in there like shotgun-propelled Super Balls.
That would hurt a lot.
Yeah. So if you build 15 of those grenades that you're talking about, that's going to be 7,500 eddies.
oh god,
Oh,
nowhere near enough money.
no. What about just regular smoke that would end up making it so they'd have to open the door due to respiratory issues?
Well, the smoke is a 10-foot. I think it was a 10 or 20.
Smoke is a
So
10 by
it's
10
gonna be,
area.
Yeah, we need minimum 2 per car, and that's like there's gonna be areas where they can retreat.
Yep.
3
Those are
is
50 apiece.
ideal.
It's probably going to fill half one of the smaller train cars.
Yeah.
3 is ideal in per train car. And you're talking about 50, so it's 150 per train car.
Yep.
Yeah, 700.
So and then that's 750. That's still within. I mean, is that within our funds right now or not?
Just, I think. We have 700, and I have a little bit, so yeah, we could just do it.
I got 38 euro bucks.
I have
So pull them out, and I'm gonna slap them down. That's what I got.
I mean, Mr. Fix doesn't have anything that we can use to make this stuff.
Well, what DM's saying is that there needs to be a cost of value as well. There needs to be a cost of
absolutely.
eddies to create this.
Yeah, but what Harlan tried to negotiate was for basically
You can go in debt right now, basically, is what you negotiated for.
Yeah, basically have to pay him off out of the spoils from the train.
But how much you go in debt is up to you, and you will have to repay it.
But we could possibly repay it and trade with.
You're gonna hear me give a big, heavy sigh and just go, if worst comes to worst, I can always just ask Grandma for a loan.
Oh, God. Zid would be interested to see internally whether, as long as there's service, if it's possible for Blue to transfer, to have my bank information or a transfer done in the case of my death to some of these folks. Because I have money once I get back to
Civilization,
as does Harlan, I think, right?
I
A
do
little
too.
bit sitting there. Or someone does.
Who knows? Like, I mean, honestly, like, I may have like had money in like an interest-bearing savings account that's now
10 years
billions
down
of
the
credits.
road.
Indeed.
More likely the bank seized it when you didn't respond to queries.
I'm gonna pull a character
You love
moment
corpus.
here, I think. And Zid would sidle up to everyone else and he will say, whatever you need, Chooms, I will foot the bill. You just go get it. I will deal with it later.
Sleep it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look Zed right in the eye and go, you're not gonna be alone in covering that. You know we got your ass on that, right?
He goes, I'm dead anyway, man.
I'm also at that point going to just write out a quick note that basically says, I tried to text Blue while you were unconscious and got no response, and just set it down on the table in front of you and tap on it.
One of the very few times, in fact, I don't think Harlan's ever seen this. Zid will pop into one of his inner pockets, and he'll pull out the stub, just the very stub of a cigar. He'll light just like the very stub, because that's all that's left. And he'll just take a big, long, just like draw, and then straight onto that piece of paper until there's no more of it.
So I didn't say it aloud for a reason. I don't know if she's got access to your eyes. I assume she probably
Oh yeah,
does.
I imagine she does, yeah.
I do not do things without your consent, Zed.
Yeah, I don't think Zid is gonna... Well, he's certainly not gonna intentionally give anything away other than burning this paper right where it stands. but there'll be a nod, right? There'll be an acknowledgement of what you've written down. But like you see a look of Zid of just this like, I'm dead anyway. This I can do. I didn't want to be here. This is like, it's a complete like resigned. I'm done anyway. I'm just gonna give everything, right? Like so that's the look that you see from him, is just steely resolve. If I live, oh my god. But yeah, he is not expecting.
It's an all-in kind of thing.
It's an all-in move. Yeah, he is all in at this point.
So like, you're not expecting to live through the assault?
Zid's not, no.
Okay.
I think we've established, from at least between you and me, Zid's whenever he's experienced like bleakness, he's not taken it well. Like he's always just said, I'm dead anyway. He's actually died. And so it's just like everything is just like gravy for him at the moment. But
I see. Yep.
Really nihilistic.
It's a fatalistic, nihilistic point of view that says, this is all bonus anyway.
To get Sid to a point where he's like all in as well. So it's like, yeah, the it's so bad that Zid's like, release it all, right? Just get it out, get it done.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like it's almost like you're just like you're the body, and like you're just the carrier for the AI at this point.
Right now, while there's not a mystery to solve, we'll see if that continues. But yes, when the what do they say when the situation's down, when stocks are down? Is that the term? I don't know.
What do you mean? Like when the cards are down?
Yeah, something. Yeah. He's anyway, he's all in.
Okay. Well, you'll see a shift in Harlan's perspective on that, because his immediate thought then, because Harlan's whole goal has been to try to take this corporation down come hell or high water, but that's always been secondary to personal survival. Okay? I want to live to see that this occurred, that I made it happen, and I can watch what goes on with that. This entire group that's now been dealing with him for this whole time is now part of, as far as he's concerned, what he needs for his own personal survival. Because the moment in the car on the way here that he realized he was sitting within arm's reach of something that would have not just corporations, you'd have the remnants of every government on the planet still coming down on you. Netwatch is the only thing that all of them and the corporations have agreed on in the last 40 years, period. And you're my friend. You think I'm letting them take you intentionally? No, that's not going to happen.
I think that'll settle in for Zid over a little while, but right now, yeah, that's awesome though.
Yep, we're all family.
7,500 credits for sleep grenades to make that the go-to, or are we going to do the 750 for smoke grenades and try to force them out of the cars?
Yeah,
Sleep.
smoke.
Oh,
Sleep.
Oh, I mean, so like,
7,000.
so hang on. So 10 times the cost. Hang on, 10 times the cost for potentially like whatever value we can get out of gear that is not degraded whatsoever from fighting. Not to mention, no one is hurt,
Well, none of us will be hurt.
quote unquote. I don't think any of them will be hurt either. Like, because if the gas, I mean, unless
Well, they will after I slit their throats.
I'm going to turn and I'm going to look at him and kind of go, they're smokers. We've seen what they do. You saw how they were treating Stitcher. They were going to use him as a slave until he wasn't useful to him anymore. And that's exactly what they were going to do to him.
Yep. So, I mean, like, when I say, like, nobody's hurt, I mean, like, nobody's, like, the hostages aren't hurt. There's no adverse effects, quote unquote. Now, obviously, if the hostages wake up, or if the smokers wake up and then realize, oh shit, we're being attacked, they might just slit the hostages' throats. So I can totally understand.
Gotta move quickly once we get going.
Yeah. All right. Dock me 7.5 chilies in debt. There, DM.
I'm gonna turn and say, hold 1 second. I'm gonna look over at Stitcher. Hey, do you have anything that we could utilize within the mix to make this more effective or perhaps less expensive? Mr.
He's got 53 eddies.
Well, no. I'm not talking about eddies. I'm talking about medical expertise and the ability to brew up drugs because he has that.
If he has the right spec, he can actually make them the higher PV.
His pharma is 2.
Never mind.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, it's a 2 out of 4. Does that make sense? Does that make it better?
Yeah. It's pretty not very high. I mean, he's only got
my fabricator was great.
Upgrade him.
To be fair, his paramedic is 13. Our first aid. I'm looking to see like what. Hang on, give me a minute. I want to see like medtech. If I try to make a roll for him, I mean.
Yeah, if we knock this fucker out, I mean, I'm just looking at it from a risk reward. I want minimal risk to us, the highest possible reward coming out of it. If that means that we have to pay out through the nose on some of the spoils, we're not losing anything if nobody dies and nobody gets hurt. If we end up totally in debt, it means we got to take another job in Night City. And the difference is between the jobs we're doing out here and the jobs there. The jobs there
pay a lot better.
Pay a lot better than the salvage scavenge that we're having to do out here.
Yeah, I remember that.
You're right, but what's hilarious about this situation is that there's some people that will definitely use this debt to every advantage. Let's say that, which is perfect for this character's arc. And DM knows it's perfect because there is a lot of things here in his history that just it works for him being in debt. So it's brilliant.
What you mean?
You talking about this being the standard nature of things for Zed throughout his whole existence?
The reason he ended up in the campaign in the first place was for this, so...
You know how when you're building your character, there's an option where if you need some money, you can do something to get some money?
Oh god. Yes, I do, and I said fuck no.
Well, Zid didn't have a choice because he wanted to actually be able to be a netrunner, so...
Netrunner's expensive!
You're right, it absolutely is.
So yeah, he's already got it, but nobody knows. Nobody knows about any of that. I don't think.
No, not unless you've told anyone. I don't think you've told anyone. You told Blackstone and them that you're sent there by them,
right?
But not necessarily that you had to.
And they also found out at one stage it wasn't employee that it said something else. I'm pretty sure there was a word that was used.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of indentured servant.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, they don't know specifics. They just know.
I remember watching that. I believe the phrase used was indebted asset.
Yep.
Is what was referred to use for you.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
So this will be a full circle for him. Maybe there'll be more. We'll see. It'll be fun. Putting them
Sell yourself
right,
once.
Yeah, put them in the firing line because that makes for a good chapter 3 entry. Or the next section entry.
I can always go bum allowance off grandma, like I said.
All right. Well,
so you do want to sell your soul to a corporation?
No, just grandma. Grandma doesn't care if I fuck the corporation off as long as she finds it entertaining.
That's the big.
Grandma, how much will you pay me to bring back Grandpa?
She might pay us not to.
Right. So, anything else that we want to do? Because I don't have time to stay.
Maybe upgrade weapons.
Today.
Well, let's do this. You guys dialogue on the Discord for the next 2 weeks. Get the plan made. And we will reconvene in January with the actual assault.
Okay.
So
well, at least you've got a framework as to what we're thinking.
We're going to come in with about 5 different plans and see which one is the most useful at the time.
We are well prepared.
Yeah, we're not going in blind.
This is going to be a major climax of the chapter. Everyone's aware of that. There's no surprises there, right?
Which is why we're trying to prep as much as possible.
Right. So, the fact that it's known is not a surprise that you guys want to be a little bit cautious and prepared.
I want at least one EMP grenade of some kind in case that fucking Cyber Psycho Shanko is on our ass. Not anywhere near you, Zed.
Deal with it
Not
if and when it
anywhere near me.
happens. Sometimes you can't have everything that you would want.
Gotta roll with punches.
Wait. You're telling me from my corporate background that I can't have everything? I totally don't understand you.
And Sid would be like, well, I don't understand what it is to have anything, so whatever.
I had a pretty bougie upbringing too.
That is the thing. 2 of you had corpo backgrounds, and 2 of you are combat zoner backgrounds. So
yeah, I grew up on kibble.
Yeah, 2 have nothing, and 2
had everything.
Hey, and I chose to give up real food and eat kibble because they won't share it.
I didn't get a choice.
Eat your kibble and like it, Blackstone.
There's no more noodles. You have to live with a kibble.
No.
All right, viewers, be sure to join us in January where we continue this awesome story with these awesome players.
Absolutely.
Be sure to check out each and every one of them. We appreciate you being here. Hope you've thoroughly enjoyed. We'll see you then for the story.